NLWN-TV presents In the Pits with John Fellens. John is going to rev you up for tonight's racing action. So now, let's head into the pits.
Good evening and welcome to In the Pits. I'm John Fellens, and tonight we have a special edition of In the Pits as we close out the 2020 racing season at the Eagle Valley Speedway with day 2 of the Jim Town Showdown. But before we get to tonight's racing action, we have a couple of special guests. Jason and Kennedy Swann are a father-daughter racing team who are regulars at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We'll sit down and talk with them about what it's like in a racing family. All of that coming up right after this quick pit stop. You're watching In the Pits on NLWN-TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back to In the Pits. As I mentioned to you, we have a couple of special guests tonight as we get ready for day 2 of the Jim Town Showdown. Joining me tonight is 13-year-old rookie Kennedy Swann. Kennedy, it's your first year in a B-Mod here in Wissota class. It's not your first year racing. What's a little bit of your history in racing?
Well, I've been racing karts since I was 5, and then I've just been racing them since this year, and then I decided to go into a B-Mod.
And you've had a lot of fun with that, I'm assuming?
Yes.
What would you say is your greatest accomplishment along the way in all of this?
All of it, just getting to race and having fun, and just I love all of it. And
obviously love racing. Now, what other hobbies would people find you doing off to the side of racing?
I hunt. And in the wintertime, I ice race my four-wheeler, and then I do softball also in the summer. You do softball, and
I'm assuming you have a lot of fun with that as well.
Yes.
And I actually have a couple of daughters that play out with the Swans. We'll leave that out, but you're 13 years old. That puts you roughly 8th grade. What's it like going to school and managing schoolwork and racing and prepping the car? What is that like for you?
It gets stressing sometimes. I do miss a lot of school for some of it, but it's all right. But I usually get it all done in time, so it's good.
Absolutely, and I'm assuming you went up to the Legendary last week. You had to miss a couple of days of school for that?
Yes.
Had a lot of fun up there?
Yes.
All right, Kennedy. Elaborate on what you have done in the B-Mod this year. What have been your learning experiences? How hard has it been going from a kart to a B-Mod?
Well, it's a lot different, but at the same time, it wasn't too hard to manage.
It wasn't too hard to manage, but there are differences in the car. Obviously, the size, the B-Mod is way bigger than the kart. Did that startle you at all when you first got into it?
I was scared at first, but then it wasn't that scary anymore.
And I've noticed as you've gone through the season, I've watched a little bit of you out at Gem Falls. I've seen you out at Rice Lake. I seen you up at Cedar Lake there in the Legendary. You almost beat Shane Holupka in Rice Lake, had a little bit of a mishap. What was that like, leading that feature going into the final lap?
It was great. I thought I was going to get my first win, and then the lap car kind of messed me up. I got in my head a little bit, and then I just spun out on the last lap and tried to keep it going, but couldn't spun out.
Well, you know what? That's part of being a rookie, and next time you go into that scenario, you'll know what to do, and you'll hit your marks, and you'll get that win. Kennedy, is there anybody that's been with you along the way that you'd like to give a shout out to, a thank you to?
Yes, Will, my pit guy, for all the work that he does on the car, and Abby for putting up with me and staying by my side and supporting me, and then Kurt, the tire guy, and then all my sponsors.
All right, Kennedy, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Yet to come on In the Pits, we'll have a talk with Kennedy's father, Jason Swann, and we'll get his perspective on the father-daughter racing team. All of that coming up right after this quick pit stop. You're watching In the Pits on NLWN-TV.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to In the Pits. Let's get Dad's side of the story. Joining me now is Jason Swann. Jason is the father of the young Kennedy Swann, a Midwest modified driver at the Eagle Valley Speedway. Jason, thank you for being here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Now, Jason, let's get a little bit of insight. What's it like being the father of a driver out here, especially being so young, you know, Dad's girl, and what's it like being there?
It's pretty nerve-wracking, you know. She's pretty young, and seeing her out there, and being a girl too doesn't help. But she's not scared to push back a little bit too. But the nerve-wracking side is, you know, did I do the setup correctly? Did I, you know, is everything set for her? And you know, I get pretty nervous. A lot of people see me standing in the pits and standing in the stands, shaking a little bit, and everybody, I think, kind of gets a kick out of that a little bit, I think.
Well, anybody who's had any time around in the pits see how hard you and your entire crew works on the car, and we know that you put in a lot of time and effort, and I can understand the nerve-wracking side of it. Are you guys excited with the decision that you have made? Are you looking to move forward with it? Are you looking to move up? What is your future direction with this?
Our future direction is to stay in a B-Mod. Yeah, I think we made the right decision. I was a little nervous at the beginning if we did, but you know, she's been karting since she was 5 years old, and you know, she's handled it well. She's had some learning curves. She definitely needs some more seat time, but every week she seems to get a little bit faster, a little more consistent, and yeah, I think me and Mom both agree that we did make the right decision.
Absolutely. She almost took home a feature win a few weeks ago at Rice Lake. Unfortunate turn of events, but that happens sometimes. Speaking of things that have happened, we understand that you have a little bit of a history in racing. Go ahead and bring us up to speed on what your history with racing is.
About 12 years ago, I always was part of racing and I always enjoy watching it. And then I had an opportunity to buy a race car, and I actually bought it. And being good friends with Mike Anderson, you know, he helped me out a ton. And I raced Midwest Mod for 4 or 5 years. And then I got an opportunity to drive a car for an individual, and I got to drive his mod for a couple years, and went really good. It was fun, enjoyed it. The racing family is what we missed, you know. And then when I got out of racing, the opportunity opened. We went out to Thunder Hill Speedway and took Kennedy out there and asked her if she wanted to do it, and she said she did. So we went and bought a kart actually, and put her in it, and that's where it all started.
And as folks would say at home, the rest is history. And it's been fun. I've been out at Eagle Valley since about July 4th and seeing the progression even in that time frame. And getting to meet you guys as I have, as I've kind of traveled around, gotten to meet a few people. I understand that you have a little bit of a deal on the side. Give the fans a little bit of enlightenment of what happens at the end of the dirt track season.
Oh, at the dirt track season, we'll actually take a couple months here and probably do some hunting, do a little bow hunting. Kennedy enjoys doing that, so do I. And then when she starts getting cold, we switch it over to four-wheelers. She runs a 400EX, and she ice races, rubber class. She's part of the NWIRC, Northern Wisconsin Ice Racing Club. We race in Bloomer, Lake Wissota, over in Stanley, down to Rock Dam, down to Kale's Rock Dam Resort. We race down there. It's 8 weeks of racing, and it's pretty fun.
And maybe a little bit of a detail getting released. We're kind of working on something possibly coming out and covering a few of those races. I hope that we get the chance to get out there. Jason, it's been fun having you here tonight. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the racing fans if they have a child that they would like to get into racing? Any piece of advice for them?
You know, just come out and watch and walk through the pits once and, you know, buy that pit pass and really see how family oriented it is. You know, you meet a lot of new people and you get to meet a lot of people across from different states. And, you know, Kennedy's got a lot of friends out there that she's in contact with all the time, from Minnesota to Michigan to North and South Dakota and down in Iowa, and it's all because of racing. You know, whether she was racing karts or she's racing her B-Mod, we got a lot of close friends out there, and the families everybody comes together. It's pretty neat to see.
Absolutely, and Jason, thank you for being here with us tonight. Fans, we'd like to thank Kennedy and Jason Swann for joining us tonight on In the Pits as we close out the 2020 racing season at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We'd also like to thank you, our viewers, for sticking with us this season, and we want you to know that we plan to be back for the 2020 racing season, 2021 racing season. Now it's race time as we head out to the Eagle Valley Speedway for day 2 of the Jim Town Showdown. All of that coming up right after this quick pit stop. You've been watching In the Pits on NLWN-TV.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Joe, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
You've been watching In the Pits with John Fellens. Stay tuned. Coming up next is racing action on NLWN-TV. All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh. NLWN-TV proudly presents Wissota Racing Action from the Eagle Valley Speedway in Jim Falls, Wisconsin. Wissota Racing Action is brought to you in part by these Eagle Valley Speedway sponsors. Haas & Sons Incorporated for all your concrete, aggregates, excavation, and trucking needs. Park Ridge Distribution with a complete line of Budweiser products. Goulet's Auto at 401 Bay Street in Chippewa Falls. Collision Center, your auto body professionals in Chippewa Falls. Tim's Automotive Machine of Bloomer for racing engines, machining services, and dyno services. Contact Tim's Automotive Machine in Bloomer. Southworth Chevrolet Buick and GMC, serving the Chippewa Valley for over 60 years from the same Bloomer location. River Country Co-op and Senex stations, a member-owned co-op providing you with a wide range of services and products. Credit King of Chippewa Falls, and they can help you get into a new-to-you car, even if your credit isn't perfect. Rock Auto for all the parts your car will ever need, rockauto.com. Baxter Engines, serving Eau Claire since 1946. There's virtually no limit to their machining ability. And Baxter Speed Shop and Custom Machine on Center Road in Dorchester. Express Disposal. For residential or commercial service, trust Express Disposal of Thorpe. Art Snowmobile and ATV of Cornell, your headquarters in the area for new, used parts, along with accessories for all your trail and racing needs. Clearview Auto Glass in Bloomer, for all your glass and auto glass needs, look no further than Clearview Auto Glass in Bloomer. The Edge on Lake Wissota, large dining area, outdoor deck and patio, private boat slips, sounds like dinner time at the Edge. Northwest Coin and Machine Company in Bloomer, your specialist in coin-operated amusement machines. Mitch Shackleton of Chippewa Heavy Haul, 2252 Olson Drive in Chippewa Falls. JP Mechanical Plumbing and Heating of Oliva, residential or commercial plumbing and heating services for the Chippewa Valley. Dan Hindle Electric, your source for electronic equipment and supplies in Abbotsford. Jayco Plumbing and Heating, 800 West Business 29 in Abbotsford. And Union Trailer and Power Equipment of Chippewa Falls. Whether it's lawnmowers up to tractors and implements, Union Trailer and Power Equipment has it for you. And now, out to the track for Wissota Racing Action.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's John Fellens alongside Rick Olson. We're here for night 2 of the Jim Town Showdown here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. Coming up, we're going to have the street stocks, the Midwest mods, the super stocks, the Wissota modifieds, the gear stocks, and the Hornets. We'll have all of that action coming up for you right after this quick pit stop. You're watching Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
Whether your car is in need of routine maintenance or a repair service, First Choice Mobile Repairs ASE certified mechanics strive for your complete satisfaction. What's more, they make house calls. That's right, they'll come to you. So whether you're in need of a jump start, changing a flat tire, brake services, battery replacement, electrical diagnosis and repair, or maybe your check engine light is on, let First Choice Mobile Repair take care of the problem. They also do small engine repair. Call First Choice Mobile Repair at 715-559-5219.
And we're back here out at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We've been gone a month, but we're back. Tonight we have the street stocks leading us off with their one and only heat. On the pole is the number 9 of Adam Saltis out of Ladysmith, Wisconsin. Starting second will be the 26 of Ty Agan out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Starting third will be Colton Brewer out of Elton, Minnesota in the KOL 34. Starting fourth is Braden Brower, out of Iota, Minnesota, Iota, Minnesota in the 34 junior. Starting fifth will be the 27P last night's feature winner, Parker Anderson out of Phillips, Wisconsin. Starting sixth will be Dustin Halb in the 22 out of Chautauqua. Starting seventh is Andrew Hansen in the 20 out of Iron River, Wisconsin. And eighth is Danny Richards in the 3R out of Mondovi. And rounding out the field,
that would be Cody Simmel.
Yeah, Simful in the 88 out of Chautauqua.
And John, we've been kind of dodging the storms. They've been running just a little bit north of us. Knock on wood, we're going to get her in tonight.
We're going to hope so. It looks good. And we're going to have a good night of racing tonight. We sure had a fun one last night.
We even put a tent over Dan on the camera over there, and hopefully he doesn't need it.
Hopefully not. These guys are going to get the one to go. If you watch the national anthem tonight, you saw Brownie running around the track, and I'm not sure what that is yet. I'll find out later tonight, but by then it'll be a little too late. I'm thinking it's like a...
Chances are, when you find out about it later tonight, You're not going to remember it tomorrow morning either. But I think they have bar stool races. I don't know if they have them here at Eagle Valley, but that looks like the bar stool that they have bar stool races on.
Dan, you want to zoom in on that for us and give us a good look on that? He's got flashing lights on it. That is definitely a bar stool racer.
Yeah, that's a bar stool racer. I don't know what class it is, but it's a bar stool racer.
Yeah, we're going to have a little fun. These guys are going to get the one to go here next time by, I believe. Maybe not. Brownie's headed out on the track to pick up some debris. Jerry Weigel and his crew have been out here since 9 o'clock Saturday morning. It is Saturday we're recording this. And he's been out here since 9 a.m. prepping this track, getting it ready. They had a long night of racing. They finished about midnight on Friday night.
And Jerry gave him the signal to start lining up. They were just going around trying to get the track packed in a little bit better because they did not run hot laps tonight.
They did not, but this track looks to be in good shape, and we're going to get the one to go here. They're getting lined up nice and tight. Although Brownie's waving the caution and not giving a one to go signal. So let's go through a little what happened at night one of the Jim Town Showdown.
Well, at least in the street stocks.
In the street stocks, in your first heat, Andrew Hansen won last night, Friday night one of the Jim Town Showdown. And in heat 2, Jim Randall won the heat. And then in the feature, Parker Anderson, who also won up at the Legendary a week ago in Cedar Lake, won the feature here at Eagle Valley Speedway.
And they still got a car. They still want to. I tell you what, John, the lower track down there, that lower groove on the track still looks pretty sloppy, pretty wet. They put a lot of water down so that the track will hold up, but they've got to pack that down a little bit. And this looks like the one to go that they're getting right now.
So we're going to send it over to Scott Teves.
Once again, thanks for coming out. Championship Saturday night here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. Night number 2, the Jim Town Showdown. Adam Saltus inside of row 1, Ty Hagen to the outside. A pair of Browers from the second row. Colton to the inside, Braden to the outside, Parker Anderson and Dustin Hollab, Andrew Hansen, Danny Richards, Cody Sinful. That is your Adam Saltus continues to show the way as they drive down the back straightaway. Ty Hagen having a great run along with Braden Brower. Parker Anderson is still 4th and Cody Sinful is 5th. Ty Hagen going to continue to look to the inside of Adam Saltus. Saltus trying to hang on. Ty Agent getting loose, sliding down into the infield. We will stay green. Cody Simple looking to the inside of Parker Anderson. Adam Salt is still your leader. Parker Anderson still to the inside of Braden Browers. They'll go door to door. Cody Simple is fourth, and it's Danny Richards and Andrew Hansen. It has been all Adam Saltis here in 9, your race leader. Adam Saltis continues to stretch it as Parker Anderson tries to track down the Ladysmith, Wisconsin racer. This time by white flag waving. One more trip around the Eagle Valley Speedway for Adam Saltis. Final trip around the Eagle Valley Speedway for Adam Saltis. Saltis into turn 3. Off at turn 4, checkered flag waving high in the air for Adam Saltis in 9. So there you have it, third. We'll go to the 34 junior.
And the 34 junior, Braden Brower, excuse me, I murdered that name in the pre-race, finishing third. I don't see who finished second. I'm assuming that would be Brower. And then Adam Saltis winning this heat race. Fans, we are going to have the Midwest Mods coming up here next. We only have one heat race for the street stocks, so we're going to have that heat race coming up right after this quick pit stop. You're watching Soda Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We've had a little over an hour rain delay here as they brought out the supers. I did a little thing with the lineup, and we just had a light sprinkle that we just couldn't kick, and we finally kicked it. They got the track back, and we're going to get going racing here. I'm going to get you a quick lineup as I shut off my thing. Oh, here we go. Starting here in our first feature, starting on the pole, or heat, excuse me, is Tommy Richards out of Mondovi, Wisconsin in the 7R. Starting second is Rich Bishop out of New Richmond, Wisconsin in the 10B. Starting third is Mike Seart out of Rice Lake in the 21. Starting fourth is Nick Oreskovich out of Mason in the 21F. Starting fifth is CJ Wagner out of Rice Lake in the 93. Starting sixth is Jeff Brower.
That's Iota, Minnesota.
Out of Iota, Minnesota in the 34. Seventh is Dave Flynn out of Superior in the 29F. Starting eighth is Scott Geiger out of Dorchester, Wisconsin in the 75. And rounding out the field is the 14L of Dylan Liu out of Medford, Wisconsin. These guys are out here running some hot laps and hope to get this track in even better condition. So forgive me if you can't hear me. We'll go through a little bit of what happened on day one of the Jim Town Showdown. We had two heat races, one by Tommy Richards and Kurt Myers. And your feature last night, Friday night, day one of the Jim Town Showdown, Kurt Myers, starting from an ace starting position in the feature, won it, followed by Dave Flynn and Jeff Fryer. Rick, we've had a little over an hour delay here. I took our cameraman Blue down to the pits, and he wanted to see the inside of a cockpit of a race car. And so he got to go down there. I took him down to the 19 Super Stock team, which is not out here tonight. Had some mechanical failures in the car. He got a chance to walk around the car with Daryl Hazelton and really learn some things. Now, lost my train of thought.
I hate it when my train of thought just jumps right off the track like that. You weren't even pulling into the station yet, John.
I wasn't, but Rick, we're going to have a few laps of hot laps here, it looks like. What are you thinking about this?
We got a caution flag out there in the hot laps right now as well. We got a car that just kind of slowly rolled down to the edge of the infield. And I can't catch the number on that car.
I can't either, to be honest. Our cameraman is trying to zoom in on that car on another camera. Hold on.
Is that the Richards car? Is that a 3R?
No, that's not the Richards boys.
It's a 3-something.
That looks to be the 34 of Jeff Breyer, is that?
Right now we're going to send Superstock Heat 1 back to the pit area, let them put some tear-offs on, get set to go. We're going to roll out Heat 2.
And we're going to get a quick break here as they're going to send the...
Yeah, they're going to send Heat 1 off the track and run some hot laps with Heat 2, and that'll help get the track taken care of. And so we can take that break right now, John.
Yeah, we'll be right back with you. You're watching WISSOTA Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
All right, change of plans here, fans. We're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. They ran some hot laps. We're going to start with Heat 2 instead of Heat 1. Starting on the pole is the 10 of Jeffrey Enzer Jr. Starting second is Chad Johnson. Starting third is Jason Quarters in the 00. Starting fourth is Dwayne Keeler in the 12K. Starting fifth is Tony Faulkner in the F27. Starting sixth is Dean Butler in the 18B. Starting seventh is going to be Kurt Myers in the 1M, and rounding out this field is the ex-junior of Austin Workman. Now, we have had a little over an hour delay here. And
John, they're just thoroughly trying to confuse us is what it is.
Yeah.
And you know, when they look at us, we're easily confused. So they didn't have to put this much effort into it.
They did not, but I will tell you, fans, keep an eye on that 1M. He started in 8th on the feature Friday night, and he won the feature by a quarter lap. That car has speed, and the driver has skill. Every driver out here has skill, but not every driver has the speed of that 1M. Now, Kurt Myers announced last week he did sell that super stock at the end of this season. A driver up in Superior, Wisconsin will be taking that super stock off of Kurt Myers' hands, and Kurt Myers will be going purely to the A-Mods, the WISSOTA Modifieds.
Looks like they're about to get the one to go.
We'll keep an eye on Brownie down here. And they've got a caution still. So I went up to the Legendary last week, Greg, up in Cedar Lake. And I went up there with some people, and I was learning some stuff about the cars and learning how some of this stuff works. And they announced over the PA system that Kurt Myers sold his car. And I had to chuckle a little bit because one of the guys asked him, well, what happens if you wreck the car before you get it to the guy that you sold it to? And Kurt said, I'll just build him a new one. It'd be all right.
Must be nice to be able to do that, I tell you. And it's nice to know that somebody like Kurt Myers is going to stand behind his deal, and so the guy up in Superior really doesn't have anything to worry about. He's getting a pretty good car out of it either way. And if I know Kurt Myers, he's not going to wreck it to the point where you can't do a little fixing to get things right.
He had to do quite a bit of fixing of it up there in the Legendary last week. We do have the one to go, so we're going to send it over to Scott Teefs, and we're going to go racing.
Tony Faulkner, your track champion, and Dean Butler to the outside. Kurt Myers, the 14-time winner, and Austin Workman to the outside. Going to try it here once again. Heat 2, 10 laps the distance. Night number 2 of the Jim Town Showdown here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. Green flag flying high in the air. Jeffrey Eisner Jr. trying to lead lap 1. He'll slide up the racetrack. Chad Johnson will be an opening lap leader. Johnson, Eisner, here comes Myers from the back of the field. Myers started 7th on the grid. Keep an eye on the 1M as he makes his way to the front. Jason Quarters is 4th, and then it's Tony Faulkner 5th in the F27. Chad Johnson, look out, here comes Kurt Myers. Myers will drive to the inside of the 25. We got a new leader, and Kurt Myers in 1M. Kurt Myers from inside of row 4 trying to run away in high here in Heat 2. DJ Keeler going to dive to the inside of Eisner as they drive down the back straightaway. Keeler now at 3rd. Chad Johnson still 2nd, trying to track down your race leader, Kurt Myers in 1M. Myers, Johnson, DJ Keeler, Tony Faulkner, and Jeff Eisner. Austin Workman, Jason Quarters, and then Dean Butler in the 18B. Trying to go back-to-back in the Jim Town Showdown after coming off a win last night. Flat out flying around the Eagle Valley Speedway. Getting set to put Dean Butler a lap down in the 18B. Chad Johnson is still 2nd. DJ Keeler is closing in the 12K. And then Tony Faulkner is 4th. Austin Workman is 5th. This time by white flag waving one more time for Kurt Myers. Myers down the back straightaway for the final time. The Cameron, Wisconsin driver into turn 3. He'll drive up in turn 4. Winner at Heat 2 for Minnesota Superstocks, Kurt Myers in 1M.
And I said it ahead of time, and it came true. Kurt Myers absolutely dominant on this track this year. And I can't even tell you who finished 2nd and 3rd. Kurt Myers was so far ahead of people lapping him, and he won his heat race. He'll go into the redraw. We'll find out where he starts in the feature here later tonight.
From that last row, and you could see he was going to win this heat race before that first lap was over. He'd worked his way halfway through the pack, and by the time they were a lap and a half in, he had overtaken the lead.
All right.
That was some pretty impressive driving.
I hear there's some equestrian stuff coming up on the Northern Light.
It's a whole different type of racing. Our next equestrian event that's going to be broadcast here on NLWN-TV will be on Tuesday, October 6th, when we bring you the Jackpot Barrels and Poles from the Lazy L Arena in Mondovi. It's going to be recorded on October 3rd, and our broadcast here on NLWN-TV will begin at 6 p.m. on October 6th. That's Jackpot Barrels and Poles. There's money in that for those folks.
And I'll just point this out. Kurt Myers' fastest lap was 0.7 of a second over anybody else on the track. Now, coming up in this technical first heat race, but it's now the second. Starting on the pole is Tommy Richards out of Mondovi, Wisconsin. In second is Rich Bishop in the 10B. In third is Mike Seart in the 21. Starting in fourth is Nick Oreskovich in the 21F. Starting in fifth is CJ Wagner in the 93. Starting in sixth is Jeff Breyer in the 34. Starting in seventh is Dave Flynn in the 29F. Starting in eighth is the 75 of Scott Geiger. And ninth is Dylan Liu in the 14L. And we're going to send it over to Scott Teves.
Tonight. Tommy Richards will lead early. Nick Oreskovich is there. Rich Bishop is third, but here comes Dave Flynn in the 29F, followed by Mike Seart in the 21. Tommy Richards trying to hang on. Nick Oreskovich looking for an opening. Richards, Oreskovich, Flynn to third. How about the battle behind him for fourth? CJ Wagner, Mike Seart, and then Rich Bishop in the 10 going three wide. Tommy Richards started inside of row one and has stayed there. Nick Oreskovich from outside of the second row trying to track down the 7R of Tommy Richards. Tommy Richards, Nick Oreskovich, Dave Flynn, Mike Seart, and Rich Bishop, your first five. Then it's CJ Wagner, Scott Geiger, and Dylan Liu. Tommy Richards continues to lead Nick Oreskovich and Dave Flynn. Laps winding down now for Tommy Richards and 7R. This time by, white flag waving one more time for Tommy Richards, and Nick Oreskovich is there. Tommy Richards trying to hang on. Nick Oreskovich going to give it one more shot. Richards your leader. Oreskovich is there. Off at turn 4, checkered flag waving for Tommy Richards.
And finishing third in that heat race was the 29F of Dave Flynn. From 7th, finishing second was Nick Oreskovich in the 21F. And winning the heat race from the pole was Tommy Richards in that 7R. That concludes our heat races here for the Super Stocks. Was the longest heat races for Super Stocks of the year, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more WISSOTA Racing action right after this quick pit stop. You're watching WISSOTA Racing action on NLWN-TV.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway, day 2 of the Jim Town Showdown, recorded Saturday night. Starting on the pole here in this first heat race for the Midwest Modifieds is Chris Redding in the 13. Starting in second is Ryan Savory in the 16. Starting third is Dylan Gadel in the 24G. Starting fourth is Josh Smith in the 21J. Starting fifth is Shane Holupka in the 3 Junior. Starting sixth is Lou Puzio in the 24P. Starting 7th is Mike Whitteman in the 119. Starting 8th is Tommy Richards in the 7R. Starting 9th is going to be Steve Haas in the 6S. And I'd be curious if Tommy Richards gets out here, as he just won the heat race prior to this, about 30 seconds ago, really.
Well, they probably had his car ready. He pulled into the scales, and I'll bet he made a mad dash and had somebody waiting in the scales area to take his car
He
after it
is
got
not
weighed.
out on the track yet.
But they're still running under caution, too. So I see a car moving through the pits that's Midwest Mod, but it didn't head towards the...
And where the Richards are in the pits is they are in the very back, so I'm going to guess he had his car waiting up front by the entry, and it seems like they're giving him time to switch cars. A lot like when Kurt Myers goes between his Superstock and his A-Mod.
Well, especially since he was in Heat 1. He should have had all of Heat 2 to make the car change, and because they switched heats on him, they've got to give him a chance, I would think.
Well, I do know with some of these situations, they say you have a certain amount of laps to get out there. If you're not out there, sorry.
But because he was his starting place, his starts were far enough apart, he shouldn't have had any trouble at all. And it was through no action of his that all of a sudden he was in back-to-back heats.
Well, we'll see what happens. They're seeming to be patient with him. They're
still on yellow, and
yeah, everybody's lined up. They're waiting for him. We'll see what happens here. I think we have a good chance.
He is in the last row, so it won't take much for him to just come in and tag on at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still staying yellow.
Well, he's not in the last row because Steve Haas is back there by himself.
Well, okay. It's like he has an open spot to drive into, though.
Yes. Everybody is waiting for him. It does take a couple minutes to climb out of a car and get in a new car. It is, they are a little bit cramped in there, Rick.
Yeah, I know that you took Dan down to take a look at the interior of a car, and that's one of the things he mentioned is that, now is that his car pulling out onto the track now? Yeah, it was waiting down in the infield. There's his car.
Yeah, there he is, right there.
That's the other solution. You get it down into the infield.
And you know, we've been wondering how Kurt Myers has been doing it. And I caught a glimpse of it last night as I was in the pits. Kurt Myers' Super A-Mod will come onto the track with the Superstock and go into the infield, which a lot of times here Kurt Myers has been winning, so he just climbs out, does his victory lane speech, and climbs in his A-Mod. So we'll see what happens here. They're going to get the one to go. We're going to send it over to Scott Teams.
But that thing was really, really good last night. This should be a really, really good heat race. Shane Holupka also in the 3 Junior. Holupka coming off a qualifying feature win last weekend at the Cedar Lake Speedway. As I mentioned, Holupka has 11 feature wins on the year, 225 for his career. Keep an eye on him from inside of row 3. Here we go, first of 3 for your Midwest Modified Heat Races, green flag waving. Savoy will lead early in the 16. Josh Smith is second and Dylan Gadel is third here in the early laps of Heat 1 for your Midwest Modifieds. Savoy, Josh Smith. How about the battle behind it for third? Shane Holubka going to look to the inside of Dylan Gadel, and then it's Mike Widman setting fifth in the 119. Savoy continues to lead. Josh Smith is second. Holubka to the inside of the 21J as they battle behind Ryan Savoy, your race leader. Ryan Savoy now has his hands full of 11-time winner Shane Holubka. Savoy, Holubka, Josh Smith. Mike Widman going to look to the inside of Dylan Gadel as they'll battle for fourth. Ryan Savoy trying to hold off a charging Shane Holubka. Holubka going to dive to the inside once again. Josh Smith sitting back and watching in third in the 21J. We got a new leader in Shane Holubka. Holubka, Savoy, Josh Smith. Mike Widman and Dylan Gadel, your first five. Tommy Richards, Steve Haas, Chris Brudding, and then the 24P of Lou Puzio. White flag waving this time by for Shane Holubka and 3 Junior. Shane Holubka started inside of row 3, drove to the front. He'll drive up at turn 4 here in Heat 1. Your winner, Shane Holubka.
Winning that heat race was the 3 Junior of Shane Holubka. Finishing second was the 16 of Ryan Savoy. Excuse me for mispronouncing your name before the race. And finishing third was the 21J of Josh Smith. We have 2 more heat races coming up here for the Midwest Modified.
And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to this one because we have our special in the pits guest in this heat race. Kennedy Swann, who you guys got to meet up close and personal on the show in the pits right before tonight's action, because John had a chance to sit down and talk with her, and she did a fabulous job in that interview, and now we're hoping she does a fabulous job out here on the track. So give us that starting lineup there, John.
Starting on the pole is the 32 with 3 L's or I's, Cody Carlson out of Superior, Wisconsin. Starting second is Jesse Raffaelli in the 24. Starting third is Corey Delkey in the 6, and fourth is Jay Richardson in the R1. Starting in fifth is George Trescott in the 32. Starting in sixth is Taylor Olson in the 26. Starting in seventh is Brian Pretzman in the 8. And starting in 8th is the rookie, Kennedy Swann, 18S. That is the final time we will call her a rookie. Rounding out the field is Jimmy Latavia in the 21, and we have the 1 to go, so we're going to send it to Scott Teeves.
Swann, final starter on the field. He is out of Solon Springs. He sits in the St. Croix Electric, Dahlback Logging, Kissling's Auto Body 21L. That should be Jimmy Latvala. Cody Carlson will lead early. And we are under caution here. I believe Jimmy Latvala in the 21 facing the wrong direction over in turn 1. This is heat 2 of 3 for your Midwest Modifieds. We will roll out 2 pure stock heat races right after the Midwest Modifieds. Then move on to our 2 modified heat races, followed by 1 Hornet heat race, and then roll right on in to all 6 A-mains. So Cody Carlson, as I mentioned last night, got a big win on Labor Day weekend in Rice Lake, his first of the year. Jay Richardson picked up a win here a couple weeks ago in that R1. Then it's George Truscott in the 32, Corey Delkey in the 6, Taylor Olson and Brian Pretzman, and then Kennedy Swann, the 13-year-old rookie in the 18S. And trying to get Jimmy Latvala rolling in the 21. Latvala won a feature earlier this year at the Rice Lake Speedway. So 1 lap has been scored, 9 remained for your very early race leader, Cody Carlson, in the 32 and the 3rd. So 1 down, 9 to go. Superior, Wisconsin's Cody Carlson out front early. Carlson, Richardson, Truscott, Dalkey, and Taylor Olson, your first 3. Cody Carlson once again will lead, but Jay Richardson looking to the inside of the 32. Jay Richardson working on Carlson. Then it's George Truscott in the 32, followed by the 26 of Taylor Olson, then Brian Pretzman in the 8. Look out! Truscott got loose. Pretzman had nowhere to go in heavy contact down there in turns 3 and 4. I'm going to go check on both drivers.
Wait, are we allowed to say that? HIPAA laws, you can't say it.
So being told from track personnel that both drivers are right. Wow, that was a heavy hit down there. Truscott got loose. Brian Pretzman had nowhere to go. And you can see the front bumper folded up on that 8. So we'll sort things out here very quickly. Cody Carlson, your early leader. Jay Richardson is there. So now I'm being told we're going to roll the ambulance out, take a look at Taylor Olson. Taylor also involved.
And a very, very nasty wreck going through turns 3 and 4 there. That's more turn 4. We're going to have a bit of a delay here as they take a look at that driver. He got T-boned right in the door. Not much that he could do, not much Pretzman could do, and it's an unfortunate situation, but this is racing, and sometimes that happens. We have the red flag out, and we're probably going to have a bit of a delay here.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to worry too much. The ambulance is out there, but that's more precautionary than anything. And so we're just hoping everybody's okay, and they're checking on the drivers to make sure everybody's okay. And tell you what, John, why don't we take a bit of a pit stop while we're doing this?
Yeah, we'll get right back to the second heat race here with the Midwest Mods right after this quick pit stop. You're watching WISSOTA Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is.
Paw, do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. They pulled Taylor Olson out of the car. Well, actually, they didn't pull him out. He climbed out under his own power. He said he's okay. They checked him with the ambulance just as a precautionary measure.
He's going to feel it tomorrow.
He's going to feel that a lot longer than tomorrow. He's going to feel that for a couple weeks. But I hope his car's okay. I hope he can get that repaired and get back out on the track. But that's an unfortunate side effect of racing. You get a little bit loose, you spin, and people behind you got to dag and dig and zig and zag, and sometimes you zig when you should have zagged, and that's really what it came down to. We're going to get the one to go here pretty quick. They got this track cleaned off, and with that hour rain delay, they're in a hurry tonight. So
they're going to get that Delaware restart all set up here.
And we're going to send it back to Scott T.
I don't think they're going to get the one to go just yet because they aren't anywhere near lined up yet. They're not too far off, but no, they're still on caution.
Well, since we got a minute to mention it, the 6, no, that's not the 6, that's the 8 of Brian Pretzman. His front end is all tore up. He's the one who ran into Taylor Olson, and his car is pretty beat up. I don't know if he's got the parts on hand to fix it. If he does, I hope he can and get back out for the feature. And he pulled off the track. So we're going to get this Delaware-style restart going.
And George Truscott, I believe it is, has a bunch of stuff hanging off the back of his car as well.
Yeah, and Corey Delkey has some stuff on his too. But leading the way is going to be Corey Carlson. On the outside is Jay Richardson in row 2. On the inside is Kennedy Swann. So we're going to send this back to Scott T since they have the one to go.
Swann to the inside of the second row now as Richardson is elected to start to the outside. Jimmy Latvala, Corey Delkey, the 24 of Jesse Raffaelli, and then George Truscott in the 32. Carlson will lead, but here comes Kennedy Swann. Swann working on the 32. Carlson will continue to lead. Carlson, Swann, Jay Richardson, Jimmy Latvala. George Truscott back to 5th in the 32. Corey Delkey in the 6th. Jesse Raffaelli to round out the field. Cody Carlson continues to lead. Carlson continues to lead in 32. Kennedy Swann, Jay Richardson to follow. Jimmy Latvala, hang on, look out! Kennedy Swann, Jay Richardson coming together over there in turns 3 and 4, and we are under caution here once again. And I'm being told that Jay Richardson will be charged with the caution. So we'll get things squared away, get Kennedy back into position. Hopefully she's able to continue on. So Kennedy has it refired. We'll get the lineup sorted out. Cody Carlson continues to lead. And that Dahlback logging 32, the 3rd. So Kennedy Swann will go to the inside of the second row. George Truscott will go to the outside. It'll be Jimmy Latvala and the 6 of Corey Delkey outside of row 3. Jesse Raffaelli to the inside, and Jay Richardson charged with the caution. He'll drop to the back of the field. So 6 laps have been scored, 4 remain for Cody Carlson. South 6 down, 4 to go for Carlson. Caution lights will go down around the Eagle Valley Speedway. See if Kennedy Swann or George Truscott have anything for the superior Wisconsin driver out front. Carlson, Swann, Latvala to the inside of Truscott. And then it's Jay Richardson in the I-1. Cody Carlson continues to lead. Kennedy Swann is there. Jay Richardson back into the mix in the R1. And Jimmy Latvala working upstairs. White flag waving this time by. Final trip down the back straightaway. Cody Carlson. Jimmy Latvala may have found something on the outside into turn 3. Up on the cushion off of turn 4. Checkered flag waving for Cody Carlson.
And Cody Carlson, by the skin of his teeth, pulls off Jimmy Latvala. I'm sorry, sir. I'm guaranteed
Latvala.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that anymore. Kennedy Swann finishing 3rd. And what a fun race. I'm sure there might be a conversation had in the pits, but that will be left in the pits.
And that's part of racing as well. Kennedy Swann showed her growth this year as she's growing into that car, and really gave it a heck of a run through this heat race.
And fans, let's not forget, as we mentioned in my conversation with Kennedy, Kennedy was driving karts a year ago. She is still learning, and it takes a while to learn these cars. And
you can see that progression that she's gone through this entire season.
You don't go from a go-kart to a B-mod very often. And that, fans, to understand the jump, I don't even know that I can describe it. So, us here at the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, we're very impressed with the growth. We're very impressed with the skill behind the wheel of that vehicle. And
we're going to be hearing from Kennedy Swann for years to come, and she loves racing. So we have heat number 3 coming up, John. Who's riding in it?
Starting on the pole is Derek Haas in the 80. Starting in 2nd is Ross Furman in the 00. Starting in 3rd is George Dahlbach in the 23 DD. Starting in 4th is Tyler Vernon in the 40 Junior. Starting in 5th is Cole Mueller in the 13M. Starting in 6th is Kent Baxter in the 95X. Starting in 7th is Craig Haas in the 12. Rounding out this field is Shadow Kitchener in the 68. And again, fans, they're in a hurry to get these in the books. It is pretty late here on a Saturday night. Well, not really, but we're recording here on Saturday night. It is day 2 of the Jim Town Showdown. You are watching this here on Monday night. This was recorded on Saturday night, and again, this is day 2 of the Jim Town Showdown. These racers are getting the 1 to go, so we're going to send it over to Scott Teves.
1 to go this time by. Final Midwest Modified heat race of the night. Two Minnesota Pure Stock heat races up right after this one. 3-time winner Derek Haas from inside of row 1 and Ross Furman to the outside. jump out front early. George Dollenbach will settle into second. Ross Furman will be third, followed by Tyler Vernon in the 40 junior, and Shadow Kitchener in the 68, your first five. George Dollenbach trying to put some distance on Ross Furman and the rest of the field. Here in your third and final Midwest Modified Heat Race of the night. Battle out front, Derek Haas, George Truska, George Dollenbach, check that. Haas and Dollenbach, Furman, Tyler Vernon, and Shadow Kitchener. Cole Mueller, and then the 12 of Craig Haas. Derek Haas continues to lead George Dollenbach in the 23D. Ross Furman is still third. Tyler Vernon is fourth, and Shadow Kitchener is fifth. Here in your final Midwest Modified Heat Race of the night. White flag waving this time by for Derek Haas. Derek Haas started inside of row one and has stayed there as he has now put some distance on George Dollenbach. Checkered flag now waving high in the air at Eagle Valley Speedway for Derek Haas in 80.
And Ross Furman in that 00 finishing third. Second went to George Dollenbach in that 23 DD. And winning from the pole was Derek Haas. Fans, that is all three of your Midwest Modified Heat races. The top six from each race will transfer into the A main. You will have a B main, of which the bottom few of each one went to. And we'll pull a couple out of that B main to go to the A main. So we're going to take a quick break here. You're watching WISSOTA Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
I hear someone go, "Didn't it come from you guys?"
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma.
I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a firefighter, not a virus.
I'm a mask maker, not a virus.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor, artist,
Bus driver.
I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus. Fight the virus.
And welcome back here to day two of the Jim Town Showdown here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. Starting on the pole of this excuse me. I'm in the wrong zone here.
This is the Pure Stock.
Pure Stock, race one of the Pure Stock. Starting on the pole is the 4K of Terry Kemp. Second is the 21 of Ryan Clausen. Third is the 70 of Bob Thompson. Fourth is the track champion here, the 31 of Travis Hazelton. Fifth is going to be the 5R of George Richards. Sixth is the 2 of Tristan Shorman. Sixth is the 16 of Corey Jorgensen. And eighth is the 03 of Randy Shackleton. And they have the one to go, so we're going to send it to Scott Teeves.
Ryan Clausen will jump out early as they drive down the back straightaway here in the opening lap. 9-time winner Travis Hazelton will settle in the second. Then it's George Richards, Bob Thompson, and Corey Jorgensen, your first 5. Clausen will lead lap 1 in the 21. So debris on the back straightaway, and the caution flag will fly here early in Heat 1. Once again, a big thanks to all our sponsors this weekend that helped put this thing together. Pat Smith of Eau Claire Insulation, Chad Kollback of Extreme Graphics out of Eau Claire, Mitch Shackleton of Chippewa Heavy Haul, Travis Lowe of Cross Country Clearing and Cross Country Towing. They offer 24-hour towing, recovery, and roadside assistance. Jason Volkovan of Jayhawk Transport. Carissa Myers of Jenkins Realty out of Rice Lake. She offers for first-time buyers relocating, upgrading, selling, investing, or purchasing real estate in Rice Lake, Cameron, or Northwest Wisconsin. Get a hold of Carissa Myers at Jenkins Realty. George Dahlback of Dahlback Logging out of Wakefield, Michigan, and Josh Smith of Union Trailer and Power Equipment. Thank you guys very, very much. So 1 lap has been scored. Ryan Clausen, your opening lap leader, out front by himself. So trying to get Tristan Schuerman and the 03 of Randy Shackleton squared away. They should get the 1 to go this time by. This is Heat 1 of 2 for your Pier Stocks on night number 2 of the Jim Town Showdown. 2 Asota Modified heat races up right after the Pier Stocks, and then 1 Hornet heat race before we roll on into our 6 A-Mains on Championship Saturday night here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. So 1 lap has been scored, 7 remain for Ryan Clausen. Lights are going to go out around the Eagle Valley Speedway. It'll be Clausen, Richards, Hazelton, Thompson, and Jorgensen. Corey Jorgensen, your defending national champion in the 16. Terry Kemp, Tristan Schuerman, and Randy Shackleton, the final driver on the field in the 03. 1 down, 7 to go for Ryan Clausen at 21. Terry Kemp spinning in turn 4, getting into the tire, and we are under caution here once again. Heat 1 for your Pier Stocks. Terry Kemp might need some help down here in turn 4 after spinning. So we got Terry Kemp refire. Looks like Kemp going to roll off into the pit area. Hopefully he can tag onto the back of the field come feature time. Caution light's going to go down around the speedway. We should be about ready to go. Ryan Clausen out front by himself. As I mentioned, Travis Hazelton having an unbelievable year. Probably the best year of his career. 9 feature wins thus far for the driver of the 31. And then George Richards in that 5R, multi-time track champion looking for his 5th feature win of the year. Going to try it again. 1 down, 7 to go, green flag waving. Ryan Clausen, George Richards going to battle as they drive down the back straightaway. Travis Hazelton is there. Corey Jorgensen going to battle with Bob Thompson, then it's Randy Shackleton and Tristan Schuerman. Clausen continues to lead. Here comes Richards to the inside. George Richards looking to the inside of Ryan Clausen as they battle out front. Travis Hazelton still third in the 31. Here comes Corey Jorgensen in the 16 and Bob Thompson in the 70. Clausen up the racetrack. Richards going to look underneath him once again. Corey Jorgensen, keep an eye on your defending national champion in the 16. Jorgensen going to drive to the inside of Hazelton and try and take over third. Richards going to look to the inside of Clausen. Ryan Clausen trying to hold off a charging George Richards as Hazelton and Jorgensen circle the Eagle Valley Speedway side by side. Bob Thompson still 5th in the 70. Great battles all around the racetrack. Ryan Clausen continues to lead. Richards trying to look for an opening. Jorgensen and Hazelton continue to swap back and forth for third. Clausen, Richards, Jorgensen, Travis Hazelton, and Bob Thompson, your first 5. Richards now will pull even with Clausen. White flag waving this time by. 1 to go as they're side by side on the front straightaway. Ryan Clausen, George Richards going to drag race on the back straightaway. Corey Jorgensen comfortably to third. Your leaders will drive into turn 3, still side by side. Off at turn 4, checkered flag waving high in the air for Ryan Clausen.
And Ryan Clausen winning that heat race, followed by George Richards in the 5R. And finishing third in that heat race was Corey Jorgensen, the defending national champion. I'll have to do some research on that. But we do have one more heat race here in the Pure Stocks, and they are rolling out on the track already. Starting on the pole is the 15H of Dustin Halobe. And starting second is the 91 of Michael Helmstrom. Starting third is the 1 of Ryan Olson. Starting fourth is the 57 of Brent Middock. Starting fifth is the 11 of Bayer Zimmerman. Starting sixth is the number 7 of Mike Schneider. Starting seventh is the 17 of Donnie Geiger. And starting eighth and rounding out the field is the 101 of Michael Grover. And ladies and gentlemen, if you take a real close look at that 101, you will see a little Grover puppet hanging out the side of that passenger side window from the from Sesame Street.
And so evidently we can't have passengers on board.
He's zip tied real well to the frame of the car, but he goes for a ride every weekend.
And we do have the 1 to go, so let's send it over to Scott.
Dustin Howard, Michael Holmstrom from row 1, green flag waving.
steps.
Great battle out front here early in Heat 2 for your Pure Stocks. 14-time winner Mike Schneider looking to the inside of Ryan Olson. Schneider, Olson, Hollop, Mindock, Brian Zimmerman, Holmstrom, Mike Grover, and then Donnie Geiger, the final driver on the field. Mike Schneider now with the advantage over Ryan Olson. Dustin Hollop still third, but Brent Mindock is there in the 57, followed by the 11 of Brian Zimmerman, your first five. Schneider trying to put some distance on Ryan Olson as Hollop and Mindock will battle for third. This time by white flag waving one more time for Mike Schneider. Schneider just cruising now down the back straightaway. Ryan Olson comfortably to second. Keep an eye on that battle for third. But off at turn 4, checkered flag waving high above the Eagle Valley Speedway for Mike Schneider.
Keep your eye on that.
So there you have it, race fans. Third, we'll go to the 15H of Dustin Hollop. Runner up to the 1 of Ryan Olson, and doing it again in the Pro Fence Watertight Solutions, Pro Powder, Twin Ridge Contractors, Jordan's Real Service, Good Time Salute, and Sweetwater Sanitation. He'll be looking for his 15th win of the year later on tonight. He's out of Cameron, your winner at 7, Mike Schneider.
And there you have it, folks, the rundown by Scott Teefs. Mike Schneider, although was not 100% dominant here at the Eagle Valley Speedway, has had a dominant season all around, and he continues that tonight. Folks, we're going to have a quick pit stop for you here. You're watching WISSOTA Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. I'm going to give you a quick note. You will notice Wayne Dean is not here with us tonight as he is in the UP. His mother passed away last Saturday before the races, and he is up there for family matters, and our thoughts and prayers are with the family of Wayne Dean this weekend.
Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV want to express their deepest condolences to his family.
And with that, we will get back to the racing action that is here before us. Starting on the pole is the 13 of Nick Kaler. Starting second is Zach Drews in the 0. Starting third is the 92 of Scott Duvall. Starting fourth is the 27H of Steve Hallquist. Starting fifth is the 38 of Zach Gibson. Starting sixth is the R2 of Jason Richardson. Starting seventh is last night's winner, the 22T of Michael Trescott. And starting eighth is the 308 of Pat Hoffman. And fans, they have the one to go, so we're going to send it to Scott Teefs.
Sponsor point 308. That should be Pat Hoffman. So first up, 2 for your modifieds, Nick Kaler and Zach Drews. Scott Duvall and Steve Hawkins, Zach Gibson and Jason Richardson. Last night's winner, Michael Truscott in the 22T. Pat Hoffman to the outside. First up, 2 for your modifieds. 10 laps to the distance, green flag waving. Kaler will lead early in the 13. Steve Hallquist is second, about the battle behind him for third. Jason Richardson going to work to the inside of Zach Drews. Here comes Michael Truscott in 22T. Nick Kaler trying to stretch it here early in Heat 1 over Steve Hallquist. Jason Richardson still third, and Truscott is to fourth now. Kaler, Hallquist, Truscott. Richardson up over the cushion, he loses spot. Pat Hoffman going to look to the inside of the R2 as well. Then it's Scott Duvall, Zach Drews, and Zach Gibson to round out your field. As he continues to lead Steve Hallquist, Michael Truscott, Jason Richardson, and Pat Hoffman, your first five. Continues to lead Steve Hallquist. Michael Truscott now to third, and Jason Richardson is fourth. Pat Hoffman is fifth as laps wind down here in Heat 1 for your modifieds. Steve Hallquist now within striking distance of Nick Kaler as the white flag will fly this time by. Hallquist is there. Nick Kaler trying to hang on. Steve Hallquist, one more shot down the back straightaway. Kaler up on the cushion. Hallquist on the bottom, but off at turn 4. Your winner will be Nick Kaler at 13.
And Steve Hallquist trying to make it interesting there at the end, gets loose in turn 1. Finishing third is the 22T of Michael Truscott, finishing second. And a car that we talked to a couple weeks ago, Steve Hallquist, not having a lot of great luck here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. Had a good race tonight, and winning this heat race was the 13 of Nick Kaler. Now, Rick, you had made a mention to me that 308 car.
It's not 308. It's .308, as in the caliber.
And his sponsor is
Henry's Arms, or whatever the place you tried to talk me into going up to.
Henry Peter Arms. Now we have our second heat race out on the track. I'll get you a rundown of that here. Starting on the pole, the track champion and season champion, the 57 of Mike Anderson. Starting second is Paul Harrelson in the 1. Starting third is Mike Knops in the 93. Fourth is the Kurt Myers in the 1M. Starting fifth is the 3 of Tyler Stargard. And sixth is the 16C of Cole Varsho. Rounding out the field is the 91 of Paul Sudsnick.
And I believe they do have the 1 to go, so let's turn it over to Scott Teefs.
That should be Paul Suzik. So Mike Anderson, Paul Harrelstead from row 1. Mike Anderson will be your early leader. Paul Harrelson will settle into second. Then it's Kurt Myers as Cole Varsho and Mike Knops a battle, followed by Paul Suzik And then the 3 of Tyler Stargard. Anderson, Harlstead, Myers. Mike Anderson, your leader. Harlstead slid up the racetrack. That opened the door for Kurt Myers. Anderson, Myers, Harlstead, Mike Knobson, Cole Varsho, Paul Suzik, and Tyler Stargard to round out the field here in your final modified heat race of the night. Mike Anderson just cruising down the back straightaway as Kurt Myers and Paul Harlstead will battle behind him. Anderson trying to stretch it on Kurt Myers. Paul Harlstead is still third and Mike Knobs is fourth. The battle continues now for fifth between Cole Varsho, but this time by white flag waving from Mike Anderson at 57. Final trip around the Eagle Valley Speedway for Mike Anderson. Your leader will drive into turn 3 off at turn 4. Checkered flag waving for Mike Anderson.
And finishing third in that heat race was the 1 of Paul Harlstead. Finishing second was the 1M of Kurt Myers. And leading every lap, starting from the pole, doing what he's done all season long here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. Winning this heat race was the 57 of Mike Anderson.
Before we send it to a pit stop, because that takes care of the Wissota Modifieds, if I'm not mistaken, let's just go ahead and send it to a pit stop.
We'll be right back with more racing action here on NLWN-TV.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway, and we have Rick and I's probably favorite show of the night. We have the Hornets. Starting on the pole here in the one and only heat race is the 36 of Jason Junker. Starting second is a man that was not here last night but is here tonight, the 221 of Danny Halterman. Starting third is the 82 of Greg Owis. Starting 4 is Jody Halterman. Starting fourth was the 4-car of Jody Halterman. Starting 5th is the 59H of Jason Heggleston. Starting 6th was last night's winner of the feature, the 76 of Jake Halterman. And starting on the rear of the field is the number 20 of Brandon Glider.
And we're missing one out there.
So Craig Ellis not making.
But they are getting the green flag.
Now for Jason Junker and Danny Halterman. Jason Junker will lead lap 1 of the 36. Brandon Glider from the back of the field. Check out the 20 as he works to the inside of Danny Halterman in the 221. Jason Yunker, Brandon Glider. Jake Halterman going to look to the inside of Danny Halterman. Jody Halterman, followed by the 59H of Jason Helgensen. Jason Yunker continues their lead, but Brandon Glider and Jake Halterman trying to track him down. Jason Yunker just cruising out front. Brandon Glider going to battle with Jake Halterman. Danny Halterman is fourth. Jason Helgeson is fifth. And then it's the four of Jody Halterman. Jason Yunker continues to lead, but Jake Halterman now making his way to the front as the white flag will wave, this time by. Jason Yunker, Jake Halterman, Brandon Glider down the back straightaway for the final time. Jason Yunker started inside of row one. See if he can stay there. He will. Your winner in 36, Jason Yunker.
And finishing third is the 20 of Brandon Glider, starting on the very rear of the field. Finishing second, starting right above or right before him on the field, was the 76 of Jake Halterman. And leading from the pole, and had there been one more lap, not winning, but won, the 36 of Jason Yunker. That concludes all our heat races tonight. We're going to send it to a quick intermission. I got a couple of interviews I recorded. You'll get a chance to see them. We'll be right back with the features. You're watching WISSOTA Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
WISSOTA Racing Action is brought to you in part by these Eagle Valley Speedway sponsors. Haas & Sons Incorporated for all your concrete, aggregates, excavation, and trucking needs. Park Ridge Distribution with a complete line of Budweiser products. Goulet's Auto at 401 Bay Street in Chippewa Falls. Collision Center, your auto body professionals in Chippewa Falls. Tim's Automotive Machine of Bloomer for racing engines, machining services, and dyno services. Contact Tim's Automotive Machine in Bloomer. Southworth Chevrolet Buick and GMC, serving the Chippewa Valley for over 60 years from the same Bloomer location. River Country Co-op and Senex stations, a member-owned co-op providing you with a wide range of services and products. Credit King of Chippewa Falls, and they can help you get into a new-to-you car, even if your credit isn't perfect. Rock Auto for all the parts your car will ever need, rockauto.com. Baxter Engines, serving Eau Claire since 1946. There's virtually no limit to their machining ability. And Baxter Speed Shop and Custom Machine on Center Road in Dorchester. Express Disposal. For residential or commercial service, trust Express Disposal of Thorpe. Arch Snowmobile and ATV of Cornell, your headquarters in the area for new, used parts, along with accessories for all your trail and racing needs. Clearview Auto Glass in Bloomer, for all your glass and auto glass needs, look no further than Clearview Auto Glass in Bloomer. The Edge on Lake WISSOTA, large dining area, outdoor deck and patio, private boat slips, sounds like dinner time at the Edge. Northwest Coin and Machine Company in Bloomer, your specialist in coin-operated amusement machines. Mitch Shackleton of Chippewa Heavy Haul, 2252 Olson Drive in Chippewa Falls. JP Mechanical Plumbing and Heating of Oliva, residential or commercial plumbing and heating services for the Chippewa Valley. Dan Hindle Electric, your source for electronic equipment and supplies in Abbotsford. Jayco Plumbing and Heating, 800 West Business 29 in Abbotsford. And Union Trailer and Power Equipment of Chippewa Falls. Whether it's lawnmowers up to tractors and implements, Union Trailer and Power Equipment has it for you. Now, it's Intermission at the Eagle Valley Speedway. Recently, John had an opportunity to talk in the pits with Hornet driver Derek Crummery and Pure Stock driver Travis Hazelton. Let's take a listen to those chats that John had.
We're out here at the Eagle Valley Speedway in the pits. We're with Derek Crummery, the season champion in the Hornets. Derek, how did you say your season went?
It went great. Went about how I was hoping for. Wanted to finish out possibly my last year in the class on top, and we came out every week. We had good luck, stayed on the track every race for the most part, and ended up on top.
And you made quite a few trips down to the Haas Incorporated Victory Lane. Now, we had talked prior to this conversation, and you said that normally you raced out at Red Cedar. What brought you out here to Eagle Valley this year?
Haven't raced the track here very much, so that was kind of one plus to try something different. And then with Red Cedar closed this year, decided this is the next closest place to come, and came here every night.
It proved to be a really good decision. Now, you had some pretty good competition in the Hornet class this year. You know, you finished, I believe, just under 200 points ahead of Danny Halterman.
Yep, yeah, Danny's a great guy, clean racer, fun to be around, and that's what you like to have is people that respect you when you're out on the track.
Absolutely. Derek, would you like to give a few of your sponsors a shout out?
Got to give a huge shout out to all my sponsors. They've helped me out all the years in the class. I ran Roto-Rooter, Rick's Auto Care Center, Steve's Hillcrest Truck and Auto, Rowan Enterprises, Conrad's Auto Salvage, Don Sheet Metal, Maya's Customs. I got Snap-On by Casey Faulkner, Hideaway Bar and Grill, Sport Rider, PWS Pressure Washer Systems, Avalon Septic, Outlaw Auto Sales, might be a few more. Diesel Repair Shop. I think that's about it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, your Hornet class champion of 2020, Derek Crummery. Thank you.
Spending time outdoors has never felt more valuable. Whether it's exploring nature or relaxing in your yard, let's do it responsibly. Before going out, check for closures and fire restrictions. Practice social distancing, even when outside and on the trail. Back at home, if burning yard debris, keep your pile small. And no matter where you are, be sure to properly extinguish any outdoor fire. Drown, stir, drown, feel. We're all in this together. Help keep our safe places safe.
We're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We're in the pits here with Travis Hazelton, the champion of the Pure Stock class. Travis, how was your season?
Good. Had 7 feature wins, pile of heat wins, and I don't even know.
All around a good year. You had a good year up in Rice Lake as well, as I understand?
Yep. We had a good year up there. We should have won Saturday night, but somebody ran into a scutter tire.
Yeah, I hear there were some interesting stories, but moving on. Travis, you've been dominant here. Is there anything anybody can get you with tonight? You're starting on the front row. What's going to happen?
You're only as fast as the car will let you be, so we'll have to wait and see and find out.
Absolutely. Now, Travis, would you like to give a couple of your sponsors a shout out here?
Stelzers and Company, Rookies Pub, Sandridge Motors, Noticeable Change Construction, Rose Creek Rabbitry. What are the rest of them? PNS Trucking, Green Case Trucking, TNR Trucking, Paul's Auto Sales, Northwest Coin Machine, and of course Paul Becker, the car owner.
Absolutely, and ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Pure Stock champion, Travis Hazelton.
But you can't slow down, there's someone right behind you. So we envelope, firing up my blood, burning in my soul. Feel that motor rocking, I'm ready to roll. Running wide open, out on the edge. Spend my life to be living in the fast thunder rolls. My wheels are smoking, too much to lose. Always up front.
you quit smoking and thought, that's that. But here's the thing about lung cancer. By the time you see the symptoms, it could be too late. But now, there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early, when it's more curable. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway after this intermission break. Starting on the pole of this street stock feature is the 9 of Adam Saltis. Starting second is the 88 of Cody Simfo. Starting third is the 34 junior of Braden Brower. Starting fourth is the 3R of Danny Richards. Starting fifth is the 27P of Parker Anderson. Starting sixth is the 20 of Andrew Hansen. Starting seventh is the 26 of Ty Agen. The 26 of Ty Agen. Starting eighth is the Cole 34 of Colton Brower. And rounding out the field is the 22 of Dustin
Hullum. And we'll take that 88 car and we'll just say that belongs to Cody.
Yeah. Fans, I tell you what, I have murdered some names this year, and I apologize to anybody.
Boy, oh boy, when the jury finds you guilty of murder,
I won't even take it to a jury time. I won't even take. I'll just plead guilty. It is what it is, and I'm sorry if I missed your.
John could be classified as a serial killer when it comes to names. Like Fruit Loops and Cocoa Krispies, Captain Crunch.
Rick, we have the one to go. Let's send it over to Scott Tees.
Yeah, before I get myself in any more trouble.
Adam Saltis and Cody Sinful will go from row 1. Braden Brower and Danny Richards, Parker Anderson and Andrew Hansen, Ty Agen and Colton Brower, and Dustin Hollub, the final driver on the field. Scheduled for 15 laps, night number 2 of the Jim Town Showdown. Green flag waving. Cody Sinful will lead early in the 88. Danny Richards and Adam Saltis will battle behind him. Then it's Andrew Hansen, Parker Anderson, Braden Brower in the 34. Great battle out front. Danny Richards, Cody Sinful going door to door. Danny Richards now with the advantage. Cody Sinful is still there along with Saltis. Here comes last night's winner, Parker Anderson. Anderson going to work to the outside of the 9 of Adam Saltis. Danny Richards continues to lead. Parker Anderson is there. Anderson, your legendary 100 winner a week ago. Winner of night number 1 of the Jim Town Showdown and trying to go back-to-back here tonight. Richards, Parker Anderson, Cody Sinful. Adam Saltis is 4th. Andrew Hansen is 5th. Danny Richards, Parker Anderson going to go door to door as they battle out front. Parker Anderson working the outside of Danny Richards. Cody Sinful is still 3rd in a great battle now for 4th between Andrew Hansen and the 9 of Adam Saltis. Parker Anderson trying to double up in 27P. Parker Anderson started inside on row 3, now out front, leading Danny Richards and Cody Sinful. Parker Anderson trying to put some distance on Danny Richards. Cody Sinful having a great run in that 88, setting third. Andrew Hansen and Adam Saltis will follow. Braden Brower, the 22 of Dustin Holub, and Colton Brower in the other 34. Parker Anderson now with a slight advantage here as the laps are winding down in your street stock A main tonight. Parker Anderson trying to go back-to-back in the Jim Town Showdown in 27P. Anderson with a 3-car length advantage as they race down the back straightaway. Cody Sinful's now got company on Andrew Hansen, and this time by white flag waving one more time for Parker Anderson. Parker Anderson will drive down the back straightaway for the final time with Danny Richards there. The Phillips, Wisconsin racer into turn 3. He'll drive up at turn 4 for the 12th time this year. Your winner in 27P, Parker Anderson.
And finishing third is that 88 of Cody Sinful. Finishing second is the 3R of Danny Richards. And winning. And this kid is on a streak right now. Legendary 100 winner last weekend, won the Friday night race, won the Saturday night A main, wins both races here in the Jim Town Showdown. This kid is on fire, the 27P of Parker Anderson. I cannot stress enough how hot of a streak he is on right now.
How hot would that be, John?
Be red hot.
Would you fry an egg on that?
That egg would burn instantly.
Okay, well then put some bacon on first, get a little layer of grease on. But yeah, he is running a real big hot streak, and things go streaky sometimes, and he had it happen at the right time of the season, and so he's winning some important features, and he's having a great time doing it.
And one of the things that maybe the casual fan doesn't know. Real diehard fans are going to know this. The racers are going to know this. We concluded the season a few weeks ago with the season championship here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. And since then, you've heard that I've been to a few races. Well, this is the invitational season. These are big money races. These are big time races. This weekend would normally be the Punky Manor Championship or Clash of Champions over at the Red Cedar Speedway, but due to things going on in the world, COVID, the Red Cedar Speedway had to cancel for the year. Last weekend was the legendary 100. We're going to send it down to Brownie. I'll get back to you after this.
What a job! What a job! Nice race for you guys. He's all out of breath. I think he partied too much yesterday. Give him a big hand, Parker Anderson.
Ooh, thank you.
What a race you had going on there. Too bad you come up a little short, but what a race. You guys put on one good show. You want to thank a few sponsors here, Danny?
Yeah, I got to thank all my sponsors and my brothers and family. If it wasn't for them guys, we wouldn't be able to do this each week.
I want to say the Richards family has helped us out at this racetrack for a lot of years. What a bunch of good guys, and Boy, what a race. I could use you. Wallstrom.
Yeah.
We got the third place car over here, Steph. Cody, what a race in front of you, huh? Them guys are pretty quick. You were there, you were coming. You want to thank a few sponsors before you take a picture here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Amos Boxing. It's their car, and we're just here to have fun. And Farner Asphalt and Team Amos Boxing, that's pretty much all we got. We just bought the car a week ago, so just having fun, and like to thank everybody who helps out week in and week out.
I'd like to thank you guys for putting on one hell of a show tonight. The thing, we worked our asses off getting this deal done, and boy, what a race. Give them a hand, everybody, come on!
All right, congratulations.
And as I was saying, it's the invitational season, so there's big money races, big time races. These are the ones that you put on your resume as having won. And congratulations to these three guys down in the Haas Incorporated Victory Lane. And coming up, we're going to have the Wissota Modified A-Main. Did I hear that correctly, Rick?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to be the Wissota Modifieds.
I suspect it's going to be the Midwest Modifieds B-Main, but hey, you know what? We'll find out.
And actually, the Midwest Modifieds only have an A-Main.
Oh, do they now?
They've gone to just one A-Main. It's a 26-car A-Main.
All right. Well, we'll find out what's coming up right after this quick pit stop. You're watching Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV. We're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway, and we were wrong. It's not the Wissota Modifieds or the Midwest Modifieds. It's the Super Stocks. And we should have known that, but hey, here we are. Starting on the pole is the 29F of Dave Flynn. Starting second is the 7R of Tommy Richards. Starting third is the 21 of Mike Steert. Starting fourth is the X Junior of Austin Workman. Starting fifth is the 12K of Dwayne Keeler. Starting sixth is the 21F of Nick Oreskovich. Starting 7th is the 1M of Kurt Myers. Starting 8th is the 25 of Chad Johnson, Starting 9th is the 10B of Rich Bishop. Starting 10th is the double zero of Jason Quarters.
Starting 11th is the 75 of Scott Geiger. Starting 12th is Jeffrey Eisner Jr. 13th is CJ Wagner. 14th, Dean Butler. 15th is Dylan Liu. And 16th, Tony Faulkner. And 17th is Jeff Brower out of Iota, Minnesota.
And we have the one to go, so we're going to hand it over to Scott Teeves.
For 20 laps, night number 2, championship Saturday night here at the Eagle Valley Speedway, green flag waving. Tommy Richards will jump out front early in the 7R. Dave Flynn and Nick Oreskovich will settle in behind him. Tommy Richards continues to lead. Dave Flynn and Nick Oreskovich will battle, and how about Kurt Myers the fourth? Keep an eye on the 1M, started 7th on the field, making his way to the front. Richards, Oreskovich, Flynn, and Myers is now there. DJ Keeler is 5th. Austin Workman is 6th, and it's Mike Seward in the 21. Tommy Richards trying to run away, but Nick Oreskovich is there, and the caution flag will wave. Looks like the 10 of Jeffrey Eisner Jr. spinning over in turn 4, and we are under caution here.
And Rick, I gotta say, this is the very last thing Tommy Richards wanted to see. Coming up in a quick hurry was that 1M of Kurt Myers, and now he's gonna start
right behind him.
Well, it looks like he's gonna start in the third row, but he's gonna be on that inside of the third row.
He's close enough to make a difference.
And we'll send it back to Scott Teefs here, but I just wanted to interject that.
Well, hang on here a minute. They're still under caution. They've got the caution flag out. Although they do have everything running and...
Yeah, they've got the 1 to go. They're getting the green flag right now.
Remember, we go back to the last completed lap, so Oreskovich is elected to start to the outside. Dave Flynn will go to the inside. It'll be Kurt Myers and DJ Keeler from the third row. Austin Workman in the 21 of Mike Seward, your first 4 rows. So caution lights dropping down around the Eagle Valley Speedway. Tommy Richards trying to hang on and pick up his 9th of the year. Will it be Dave Flynn and Nick Oreskovich, Kurt Myers, DJ Keeler? We're going to find out here. Green flag flying once again. So under caution here once again for the 10 of Jeffrey Eisner Jr.
Some Honey Nut Cheerios.
Cheerios. Do I look like a childie?
And that 10 car, I suspect he was charged with the last caution. He will definitely be charged with this one. And if I am correct, 2 charged cautions means you are done. You take your car to the pits and have a nice night. That is a rule that is pretty consistent across dirt track racing. You cause 2 cautions in one race, you are parked.
And there he goes.
And it's not so much as kind of all right, we need to
for one reason or another, you're not going to be able to be competitive that night, and then you're a hazard on the track, and that's what it's all about.
And we're getting lined up here. I don't know if they got the 1 to go here. Brownie is not down there. We said it was Brownie, but it is actually track owner Jerry Weigel down there in Brownie's place tonight. And he is giving them the 1 to go signal. So,
well, then let's send it back over to Scott, who we know is sitting where he is.
Yeah.
It could be a great way to save. Or is it time to upgrade an auto loan?
So caution lights go down around Eagle Valley Speedway once again. 5 laps have been scored, 15 to go for Tommy Richards in the 7-hour. Richards, Flynn, Oreskovich, Myers, and DJ Keeler. Nick Oreskevich, Tommy Richards, Kurt Myers has joined the party, and we're under caution once again for Jason Quarters this time in the 00.
Attention, SSI and other.
And Rick, I've had a chance to have a couple conversations with Jason Quarters over the last couple weeks. I gotta say, he's a heck of a guy, nice guy, hard worker, and he has put a lot of work into that vehicle to get it here tonight. I mean, he
just got away from him a little bit going out of turn 1 into turn 2.
He said last week, as I'm sitting there in a hauler, he said, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all this year. And I guess that's the way that it runs.
His luck is remaining consistent.
And, well, hopefully he can make up a few spots here. Jerry's giving him the one to go, so we'll send it back to Scott Teams.
On the speedway, we're about ready to go. Green flag waving this time by.
And now help stop dry skin before it starts. Find new Olay skincare inspired by...
Limited time.
And Jason Quarters, and it looks like the 21 of Mike Sewart. Again, I mispronounce names, and I'm very sorry.
That's actually looks correct to me, Sewart.
Got tangled up. We'll see who ends up getting charged with caution, but if that's Jason Quarters, that will be his second
his night would be done.
And let's see, he's not pulling off the track, so it doesn't seem as if he's being charged with caution. Again, Jerry Weigel down there, track owner, pulling double duty tonight as he has taken the inside flagman position. We'll get it back to racing action here in just a minute.
As they're getting things organized, it's like shuffling a deck of cards right now. As the drivers switch and so on, and the tower is giving them directions as far as which lane they should be in, whether they should be inside, outside, and which starting lane.
And another thing to note, only the front row second place car gets to choose which lane he's in.
Correct.
Everybody else is done. We're going to send it back to Scott Teams.
CJ Wagner, Jason Quarters, Mike Sewart, all coming together in turns of 1 and 2 to bring out yet another caution here in our Super Stock A-Main. Midwest Modified A-Main up right after this one.
You know, John, if Jason Quarters hears that you said what you said, and he's since been involved in the next 2 cautions, he's going to wring your neck.
He's a pretty nice guy, but
that just might push him over the edge.
He had a broken shock on his vehicle last night. He went home, got it fixed, and
he's off into the pits.
And it looks like something might be broke on it again. And Jason, we're praying for you here, man. We're hoping you get that fixed up and you can make the trip up to Ashland next week.
Dan can zoom in a little bit on that car down there. Maybe we'll see which one we're dealing with here. He was having some front sheet metal issues, which they pushed and prodded. That's a 93.
Go on here. That's CJ Wagner.
And, but he's going to stay in the race.
Yeah, I do believe Jason Quarters was charged with the caution there. Maybe, maybe not. We're not in on the receivers, so we don't get to hear that information. So that's another thing. We heard it earlier from Ben Zabel that they do have a one-way radio that's in their ear, and there is a track controller that is talking to them. And so we're going to send it back to Scott Teese here.
Scored for Tommy Richards in the 7R. Myers and Oreskovich, Flynn and DJ Keeler orders the same as the last time. Green flag waving. Kurt Myers trying to steal the show from Tommy Richards in 7R.
And that is the 14L of Dylan Liu, and I can't see who the outside car is, either on camera or with my own very eyes. We'll get that for you as quick as we can.
It's kind of hard to tell where one car starts and the other one ends. They're both similarly colored.
I can tell them.
Yes, yes, you can. But there's no identifiable markings on that second one that distinguish it. How's that for throwing some words at you?
Yeah, absolutely. How about this? We're loved in Wisconsin, but hated in Denmark, Rick.
That's right.
So fans, you'll notice when there's music coming on. Never mind.
And they did not black flag it. Lots of times when there's, or not black flag, red flag it. Yeah, I'm not really colorblind, but sometimes I act like it. But they,
it's that age catching up to you.
Yeah,
Rick.
it really is. But sometimes when they have to have both wreckers out there and so on, they end up doing that.
As we get our camera issues fixed here a little bit, we're starting to fog out on that.
And yeah, he's lost his focus, I believe.
That is the one problem of filming at night is focus does sometimes drop, and we apologize for that. But
yeah, what happens is we've got white barriers around the track that reflect the light and fools the focus on the camera. And I think now, Dan, if you come in closer, we might be able to pick up what cars those are. Because the angle that we have from where we're sitting, like right about now, what is that? The 101 maybe?
No, that's the 21 of Mike Seort.
Okay.
And he's going to get towed right off the track. He is done for the night.
Well, and so is.
That 14L of Dylan Liu is tore up there on the passenger side door. Hopefully that's just sheet metal damage, and he can stay out there and then pound it out at the end of the night.
They had to pull him off of a tire.
Yeah. Like I said, hopefully that's just
he's driving under his own power, so maybe he can stay out.
Looks like he's a bit of a Trump supporter there.
I don't know if he's got a tire rub going on. Well, anyway, he's going to keep on trying.
Yeah, it looks like just his door panel's pushed in, and he'll go out after the race and pull that door panel off and feed it straight again and put it back on the car. And I do believe they're getting the one to go already, so
let's turn it over to Scott.
It's Myers, Oreskovich, green flag waving again. Tommy Richards once again out front. Myers to second. Oreskovich is third. Then it's Dave Flynn in the 29F, followed by DJ Keeler in the 12K. Richards and Myers going to go at it down the back straightaway. Tommy Richards continues to lead. Kurt Myers is still there. Richards will use the bottom in 3 and 4. Myers working up top in turns 3 and 4. Caution lights blink on here once again, this time for C.J. Wagner in the 93. Superstock's having a tough time tonight. And that is C.J. Wagner's second caution of the race, so his night will come to an end. C.J. will have to make his way back to the pit area. We will sort things out and try it again.
And Rick, as we're sitting here with all these cautions, we got to deal with something that we haven't dealt with all season long. It's cold.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, I'm seeing my breath. And that means, you know what? The stock car racing season is just about over. Now, we have kind of entered into some preliminary discussions. We might have some more racing action for you a little bit later on during the winter. So stay tuned. We might have some of that coming up for you. We're talking about it anyway. But let's send it over to Scott.
But out once again from that second row. Here we go. Green flag flying high above the speedway once again. Kurt Myers going to slide up in front of Tommy Richards. Richards going to drive back to the inside down the back straightaway. Kurt Myers, now your leader in 1M. Myers, Oreskovich, Richards, Dave Flynn, DJ Keeler. Then it's Rich Bishop and Austin Workman. Austin Workman spinning over in turn 2, and the caution flag will fly here again. So we'll tend to the ex-junior of Austin Workman. So Kurt Myers trying to find victory lane for the 15th time this year. Myers, a 3-time WISSOTA national champion, his first coming back in 2000 in the street stocks, where he won, I believe, 48 features that year, and then winning super stock titles in 2015 and 2016. He picked up his 368th career win last night. So looking for 369 tonight. What an unbelievable career for the driver of the 1M. He told me last weekend when I interviewed him, next weekend at the Red Clay Classic will be his last weekend behind the wheel of a super stock. He's going to concentrate on his modified program. Andy Gramala has already purchased that 1M. So next week will be the final night for Myers in a super stock. Trying to cap it off with a win here tonight at the Eagle Valley Speedway. Green flag waving again. Myers trying to stretch it on Nick Oreskovich. in the 7R of Tommy Richards as DJ Keeler and Dave Flynn battle, and it's Rich Bishop in the 10. Myers, your leader in 1M. Cruising out front, Nick Oreskovich still second. Tommy Richards is third. Dave Flynn and DJ Keeler, your top 5 remain the same. Myers just cruising out front. Oreskovich still second, and Richards is third. Kurt Myers started inside of row 4. It took him a while to get to the front till about the halfway point. But once he did, man, he is just checked out on Nick Oreskovich and the rest of the field. Chad Johnson slowed on the back straightaway. He'll roll on into the infield. We will stay green, and this time by Kurt Myers. We'll see the white flag waving. Check that. Caution lights blink on. So debris on the speedway just out of turn 4. And Myers had built up a commanding lead. That'll go away. See if Nick Oreskovich or Tommy Richards have anything for the 1M. Myers coming off a great year a year ago in 2019. He won the Pokemeter Challenge of Champions for the second time in his career. He won the Wissota 100, and he also won the Red Clay Classic. So he'll be the Red Clay Classic defending champion next weekend at the ABC Raceway in Ashland. So it'll be green, white, checkered for Kurt Myers and company. Tommy Richards and Nick Oreskovich from the second row. Dave Flynn in that 29F. DJ Keeler to the outside of Rich Bishop and Austin Workman. Scott Geiger, Dylan Liu in the 14L, and Dean Butler in the 18B. So green, white, checkered. See if Kurt Myers can hang on for the 15th time this year. White flag waving this time by for Kurt Myers. Checkered flag waving high above the Eagle Valley Speedway for Kurt Myers.
And finishing third in that feature race that took way too long was Tommy Richards in the 7R. Finishing second was the 21F of Nick Oreskovich. And winning the feature and being absolutely dominant two nights in a row, the 1M of Kurt Myers. He almost won the legendary 100. Dave Flynn got him on the last lap. Finished second there, comes here, sweeps the weekend. And Kurt Myers is headed to the Haas Incorporated victory lane.
And while he's heading over there, I want to remind fans that coming up on Friday, October 2nd, we have high school football action for you here on NLWN-TV with the Colfax Vikings traveling over to Spring Valley to take on the always powerful Spring Valley Cardinals. Viking pregame begins at 6:45, and live play-by-play action kickoff is at 7 o'clock. And so let's send it down into the pits and see what is sounding right with Kurt Myers.
We had a little marathon going on. You had to work for that one. Yeah, I don't know. We got to have 40 or 50 yellows every time, and it's the same 3 cars in every yellow. It does get a little annoying. Well, jump out of the car, Kurt. We'll get some pictures and get your buddies here in with you, and it'll be all good. Well, Carissa Myers, you got your wish this weekend. 2 wins, sponsored the show. You can't get any better than that now, can we?
No, not really.
A lady with all the words. Well, Nick, you had a hell of a run going on there. I tell you, quite a race. Kurt's in that other zip code that we talked about today. What are you thinking?
Well, it was a lot closer than it was last night, so I'm happy.
Close don't count.
I know, but we could still see them tonight.
Awesome. Tommy, I thought you had one there, and then Kurt would come and give you a little push and shove and had some fun, but what a race you 3 put on up front. If it wasn't for the back, I think it would have been maybe a little different. Anybody you want to thank?
Just everybody that helps, Kayla, Jarrett, Dylan, Danny, and George, all them guys.
Well, thanks for coming out to the Jim Town Showdown. We appreciate all you guys being here. You guys had a pretty good weekend in the top 3. Come on over and get some pictures taken. Let's give these super stock drivers a big hand. They put on one hell of a show, guys. Come on.
And Jerry Weigel handling the Haas Incorporated Victory Lane interviews tonight. And I think Brownie was handling flagman duties there, because I watched him climb down the track, and there's a different flagman up in the booth.
So we've got the Midwest Mods coming up. It is a big field. So before we get to it, we're going to take this quick pit stop. You're watching with Soda Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
And welcome back here to the Jim Town Showdown Night 2 here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We had the Midwest Modifieds A-Main. They canceled the B-Main. There wasn't enough cars, so they just lumped them into one. Starting on the pole is the 21J of Josh Smith. Starting second is the 23 Double D of George Dahlback. Starting third is the 80 of Derek Haas. Starting fourth is the 16 of Ryan Savoy. Starting fifth is going to be the 3 Junior of Shane Holupka. Starting sixth is going to be the 00 of Ross Furman. Starting seventh is the 32 third of Cody Carlson. Starting eighth is going to be the 21 of Jimmy Alufa. Starting ninth is the 18S of Kennedy Swann. Starting 10th is the 119 of Mike Whitteman. Starting 11th is the R1 of Jay Richardson. Starting 12th is the 40 Junior of Tyler Vernon. Starting 13th is the 24G of Dylan Gadel. Starting 14th is the 32 of George Trescott. Starting 15th is the 68 of Shadow Kitchener. Starting 16th is the 7R of Tommy Richards. Starting 17th is the 24 of Jesse Raffaelli. Starting 18th is the 13 of Cole Meyer. Cole Mueller. Starting 19th is the 6S of Steve Haas. Starting 20th is the 12 of Craig Haas. Starting 13th is Chris Brenning. Starting 22nd is the 24P of Lou Puzio. Starting 23rd is the 6 of Corey Delkey. Starting 24th is the 8 of Brian Pretzman. Starting 25th is the 95X of Kent Baxter. And rounding out the field in 26 is the 26 of Taylor Olson. Now, I don't think that the 26 car is out here. I could be wrong.
This is 26 cars, maybe 25, for 20 laps. This is like 494 at rush hour on a Friday as people are trying to get from Minnesota into Wisconsin to go to their cabins.
And, Rick, I should also note that Corey Delkey is not on the track right now. So maybe
it's only 24.
Yeah. So I look here at the field, the 24 is the last car on the field of Jesse Raffaelli, and he should be ahead of these cars a little ways, so I don't know if he's electing to start in the back.
I see 23 cars out there, so there's more than that are missing.
Yeah, and I don't think the 7R of Tommy Richards is out yet.
That could be.
But I do notice that the 26 of Taylor Olson and the 6 of Corey Delkey did not make the start of the race. Have not yet. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, and the 7R of Tommy Richards just pulled onto the track. So he'll run up and get into his spot. We'll get this race going here shortly. And Rick, what'd you think of my new picture, my new profile picture on Facebook?
Well, you look kind of comfortable in that seat. Folks, John got the chance to sit in a car. In fact, he had a chance to drive it through the he had a chance to sit there and go vroom, vroom, vroom behind the steering wheel and just like his kids would have. And John looked as happy as a kid behind there, too.
And that rookie pub, I can't list all the sponsors on that, but that 24P of Lou Puzio, I've become a little bit of buddies with him, and he gave me the chance to climb behind the wheel and see what it feels like to climb in one of these cars, which, by the way, is not easy. Climbing out of it's even worse. And
if you ever a guy like me, I'm not even going to think about it.
Well, if you ever want to see a funny video, hit up my wife. She's got a video of me trying to climb out of that car. And that's pretty entertaining in and of itself.
Were they going to find the jaws of light for you on that one?
Not quite. But yeah.
Hey, these 24 cars just got the one to go, so let's turn it over to Scott.
So caution lights dropping down around the speedway. Josh Smith, George Dahlbeck from row 1, 20 laps, green flag waving. Josh Smith will lead lap 1. George Dahlbeck will settle into second. Shane Holupkin, Derek Haas going to go door to door, and then it's Ryan Savoy and Cody Carlson. Josh Smith, George Dahlbeck, Shane Holupka, keep an eye on the 3 junior. Derek Haas back to 4th. Cody Carlson going to work to the inside of Ryan Savoy. Smith, Dahlbeck, Holubka, Hans and Carlson, Savoy, Kennedy, Swann, Ross Furman, Jimmy Latvala, and Jay Richardson. Josh Smith continues to lead. George Dahlbeck changing up his line, and he has closed on the 21J. Holubka is still there in the 3 junior. The top 3 starting to put some distance on Derek Haas and Cody Carlson. George Dahlbeck going to drive to the inside of Josh Smith. They're going to go side by side. Dahlbeck to the inside. Josh Smith to the outside. Holubka sitting back and watching in 3 junior. George Dahlbeck, we got a new leader down the back straightaway in 23 Double D. Dahlbeck started outside of row 1, now to the inside of Josh Smith. Dahlbeck continues to lead. Smith is still second and Holubka is third. Cody Carlson and Derek Haas continue to battle for 4th. Holubka now has joined the party on the back straightaway. Lap traffic in front of your top 3 now as Josh Smith will slide up the racetrack, hit the cushion, drive off at turn 4. George Dahlbeck now trying to stretch it. What a run down the back straightaway for the 23 Double D. Holubka continues to work upstairs as Smith will drop to the inside with more lap traffic in front of your leaders. Dahlbeck trying to get to the inside of Cole Mueller and put him a lap down. Josh Smith off the pace. 21J down in the infield. His night is over. George Dahlbeck, Shane Holubka, Derek Haas, Cody Carlson, and Ryan Savoy, your first 5. Shane Holubka continues to work the outside. Dahlbeck driving right through the middle. George continues to work through the middle of the Eagle Valley Speedway. Holubka continues to work upstairs as Derek Haas now tries to track down your first 2. Dahlbeck and Holubka trying to make it a 2-car battle as they drive down the back straightaway. Derek Haas having trouble getting around the lap car of Lou Puzio. Dahlbeck and Holubka continue to battle. What a great race for the Midwest Modifieds. Wakefield, Michigan's George Dahlbeck trying to hold off Greenwood, Wisconsin, Shane Holubka. Cody Carlson and Derek Haas continue to battle for 3rd. Dahlbeck, Holubka, Cody Carlson, and Derek Haas. How about that battle for 3rd? Ryan Savoy and Jay Richardson, white flag waving this time by for George Dahlbeck. Shane Holubka going to give it one more shot into turn 3. Off of turn 4, checkered flag waving for George Dahlbeck.
To die down a little bit. everybody's going around to take the checkered flag. I see my buddy Luke Luzio's in the infield here. Finishing third was the 32 to the third, Cody Carlson. Finishing second was the 3 junior of Shane Halepka, and winning this race from the outside of the front row was the 23 Double D of George Dahlbach.
He calls Wakefield, Michigan out. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, 23 Double D, George Dahlbach.
Wakefield, Michigan native, racing right here at the Eagle Valley Speedway, George Dahlbach. He won earlier this season while we were covering, so we're going to send it on down to Jerry Weigel for the Haas Incorporated Victory Lane speech.
Wakefield, Michigan's George Dahlbach making his way down there right now. So we're going to take things over to everyone down at Victory Lane.
And we got just a minute here. All the cars got to cross past the scale here that are in the top 4 or 5. Yeah, the top 5.
That car, I've been talking about it all weekend here. What a deal. You guys had one hell of a race. Halepka was on your butt. I seen him. That's why I covered the bottom. You know, he was right there to take you out, and you hung in there. He did one hell of a job. George, that was a good race. Here, tell the crowd how it was. Woo! That was fun. I was getting tighter and tighter, and I could see Shane's nose. I'm like, then I'm in traffic. I'm like, come on, where's the white flag already? Man! You guys are. Woo! I want to interview him. Good job, George. I knew you were there, buddy. I knew you were there. I seen that nose. I'm like, damn it! Come on, white flag!
I needed 30 more.
What I want to do here, I'm going to give my winnings. They're going to pay it back since this is my weekend here. All my winnings are going from second, all back. Jerry's going to split up my winnings right here. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. It's been fun. It's been a long weekend. And Jerry, great job of getting it in tonight. Well, George, I couldn't do it without all you guys and the sponsors, you, Chris, and Myers, and all the rest. And boy, what a deal you guys put on this weekend. Without you guys, we couldn't do it. Shane, I thought you had him there a few times. You were pushing right up on him. I'm sitting there going, George, you better get your ass a-moving. And because I know how you know this racetrack, he only comes a few times a year. Well, thank some sponsors, and let's get this rolling.
All right, I got to thank my mom and dad, my wife, Tim from Tim's Automotive, MB Customs, Halepka Equipment, Ella Blues. They're all great to me.
Shane, what a deal. Thank you very much for coming out and playing with us all.
Good job.
Hey, I get to see you again. What the heck you doing there, buddy? Good job.
Thank you. It's nice to get third 2 nights in a row.
Cody, you know, last night I looked at you and I really didn't recognize you because I don't see you all the time. And I'm saying to myself, who is this kid? Doggone it, you know, with all this competition tonight, 20-some cars, we put everybody in the feature. You guys in the Midwest Mods put on one hell of a show. You had the less cautions than anybody. Thanks much. You want to thank any sponsors yet tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to say it's been a crazy week to get here. We had a lot of work to do on the car. We had some stuff going on with the family, so it took a lot to get down here. We're lucky to even make it down here, but the racing going that many laps green, putting us into some lap traffic there, made it interesting at the end. But hats off to Jerry and the crew here to get this show in with the rain delay. I think the track's pretty dang good, all things considering, and hope to be back soon.
Well, Cody, there about right at the end with about 3, 4, 5, 6 laps left, whatever it was, I seen you try to baja over my wall there. What the heck were you doing there?
Well, that was one of those lap traffic moments. I think the yellow 13 was a windshield wiper across the front of the 80 Haas car, and just trying to, it looked like he was going low, so I was going to go high, and then last second he decided to go high, and that's pretty much all that happened there. But what do you do? It's racing. The car's still in one piece.
Well, we're going to get some pictures here and give these guys a big hand. What a show! I can't hear you guys up there.
and Jerry Weigel there conducting the victory lane interviews. You had Shane Holupka coming in second. You had Cody Carlson coming in third. And winning again here at the Eagle Valley Speedway was George Daubach, and made a heck of a notion. He is giving his winnings away. We're going to have another feature coming up right after this quick pit stop. You're watching WISSOTA Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
Whether your car is in need of routine maintenance or a repair service, First Choice Mobile Repairs ASE certified mechanics strive for your complete satisfaction. What's more, they make house calls. That's right, they'll come to you. So whether you're in need of a jump start, changing a flat tire, brake services, battery replacement, electrical diagnosis and repair, or maybe your check engine light is on, let First Choice Mobile Repair take care of the problem. They also do small engine repair. Call First Choice Mobile Repair at 715-559-5219.
And welcome back here to the Jim Town Showdown, Day 2 here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. If you're looking for Day 1, we did not have the chance to cover that. We are here for Day 2. We are here with the Pure Stock A-Main. Starting on the pole in the 7, Mike Schneider. Starting in second is the 5R of George Richards. Starting third is the 57 of Brent Middock. Starting third is the 70 of Bob Thompson. Starting fifth is the 16 of Corey Jorgensen. Starting sixth is the 1 of Ryan Olson. Starting seventh is the 15H of Dustin Halhoub. Starting eighth is the 21 of Ryan Clausen. Starting ninth is the 31 of Travis Hazelton. Starting 10th is the 11 of Byers Zimmerman. Starting 11th is the 2 of Tristan Schuerman. Starting 12th is the 101 of Michael Grover. Starting 13th is the 91 of Michael Helmstrom. Starting 14th is the 17 of Donnie Geiger. Starting 15th is the 03 of Randy Shackleton. And starting at the very rear of the field, the 4K of Terry Kemp. And these drivers are getting the 2 to go signal, so they'll get one more. Oh, that's the 1 to go. And now they're throwing the caution flag back out. They had to bring a four-wheeler back to the inside of the track, and I'm sure they're getting the 1 to go, so we're going to send it back to Scott Teves. They're not bringing the caution lights down. But they haven't brought the caution lights down, so they're going to keep going around. I think they'll get the 1 to go here. One of the signals that we can watch for, Rick, and I noticed this last night being able to watch as a fan, is when the drivers hit the back straight, they'll turn off the caution lights.
If they have the 1 to go, they will.
Yeah.
Now, they are getting the 1 to go this time around.
And one of the things I've seen different tracks do is, like up at Cedar Lake, they'll flash the green light at the drivers 3 or 4 times going around that final lap, but they have a few more lights around their facility. And
so let's turn it over to Scott Teese because they are on the 1 to go.
Yeah.
So caution lights dropping down around the Eagle Valley Speedway, 15 laps. Mike Schneider and George Richards, Brent Mindock and Bob Thompson and Corey Jorgensen, Ryan Olson, your first 3 rows, green flag flying high above the Eagle Valley Speedway. Mike Schneider, George Richards going to battle here in the early going of your Pure Stock A-Main. Schneider with the slight advantage. Bob Thompson to third, then it's Ryan Olson and Brent Mindock, your first 5. Mike Schneider continues to lead. George Richards is right there. Bob Thompson having a great run after rolling over last night. Ryan Olson is still fourth. And then Brent Mindock is fifth in that 57. Schneider, Richards, Thompson, Ryan Olson, Brent Mindock. First five remain the same here in your Pure Stock A-Main on night number 2 of the Jim Town Showdown. Mike Schneider now starting to open up an advantage over George Richards, as Bob Thompson will now have to deal with the one of Ryan Olson. Halfway now for Mike Schneider in 7. Mike Schneider now opening up an advantage over George Richards. As I mentioned, Schneider looking for his 15th feature win of the year, having a career year in that 7. George Richards still there, though. Thompson and Ryan Olson. Brent Mindock now going to have to battle with the 21 of Ryan Clausen. Clausen now to 5th. Mindock backs to 6th, and the caution flag will wave for Terry Kemp in the 4K. So 11 laps have been scored, 4 remained for Mike Schneider. Schneider looking for his 15th of the year. As I mentioned, he has won at every racetrack he has visited this year. He has won at the Gondik Law Speedway in Superior, Wisconsin, the Rice Lake Speedway, Eagle Valley Speedway, Cedar Lake Speedway. He has won at the SK Speedway. He won the Mod Nationals earlier this year. He is your Lonnie Lou champion this year. He won at the Northern Nationals at the Gondik Law Speedway. Won a qualifying feature at the Cedar Lake Speedway last weekend and finishing 3rd in the A-Main. He won night number 1 of the Jim Town Showdown and trying to back it up tonight and getting it done again. He has 14 feature wins on the year. See if he can close out a perfect weekend. He'll get the 1 to go this time by. So caution lights will go out around the Eagle Valley Speedway. Mike Schneider, 4 laps away from going back-to-back in the Jim Town Showdown. 11 down, 4 to go for Cameron, Wisconsin's Mike Schneider. Green flag flying once again. Schneider once again will lead, but he's got company in George Richards. Bob Thompson is still third. Ryan Clausen the fourth. Ryan Olson back to fifth in the one. Schneider, Richards, Thompson, Ryan Clausen, Ryan Olson. Then it's the 11 of Breyer Zimmerman. And the caution flag will wave here again. I believe that's the 91 of Michael Holmstrom over there. Just as the white flag was about ready to fly. So it will be green, white, checkered for Mike Schneider and company. Once again, modified A main upper right after this one. So it'll be green, white, checkered for Mike Schneider and company. George Richards electing to start on the outside of that second row. Bob Thompson will go to the inside. So Mike Schneider going to lead this field back to the green flag. Try and get his 15th feature win of the year. Here we go. Here comes Mike Schneider. Out comes the white flag one more time for Mike Schneider in 7. Schneider, Richards, Ryan Olson now to third. Checkered flag waving high above the Eagle Valley Speedway for the 15th time this year for Mike Schneider.
And finishing third on a last lap pass is the rookie for the final time here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. He is being called a rookie. The 15-year-old Ryan Olson. Finishing second was the wildly veteran George Richards. And winning for his 15th feature win of the year, Mike Schneider.
Wily veteran. I like that, John. A wily veteran. Now, you're not calling him old, are you?
Oh, you know, these Richards boys deserve a lot of respect out here, and they don't. They get the respect that they deserve in the pits.
Now, those guys are from down in Mondovi, aren't they?
Those guys are down from
Mondovi. John, while we're waiting for them, that reminds me that coming up on October 6th, Tuesday, October 6th, we're going to be airing some equestrian events from down in the Mondovi area. From the Lazy L Arena, it is a jackpot barrels and poles event. The event will be recorded on October 3rd and then aired on Tuesday, October 6th, with the action starting at 6 p.m. and then from the Lazy L Arena down in Mondovi.
And what I was going to say is what a lot of people don't realize is these Richards guys, they build their own cars from scratch. They're one of the few guys who do it, and they build every car they drive from scratch. And we have the Minnesota Modifieds, the A-Mods on track, as you can hear, as it just got really loud out here. I've also lost cell reception. All right, starting on the pole here for the Wissota Mods is the 22T of Michael Trescott. Starting second is Mike Knops out of Chippewa Falls in the 93. Starting third is Kurt Myers in the 1M. Starting fourth is the 57 of Mike Anderson. Starting 5th is the 27H of Steve Hallquist. And starting 6th is Jason Richardson in the R2. Starting 7 is Paul Harlstead in the 1. Starting 8th is Nick Kaler in the 13. Starting 9th is the 308 of Pat Hoffman. Starting 10th is Cole Varsho in the 16C. Starting 11th is Scott Duvall in the 92. Starting 12th is Scott Suzik in the 91.
Michael Truscott going to try and run away at Hyde early as Kurt Myers and Mike Anderson battle behind him along with Mike Knops and Jason Richardson, your first 5 here in the opening laps. Michael Truscott trying to go back-to-back in the 22T. Zach Gibson spinning into 38, and the caution flag will fly. So Gibson spinning out of turn 4, and we're under caution here early. Michael Truscott looking for his second feature win on the weekend and his 6th of the year. Kurt Myers looking for his first of the year in that 1M, and Mike Anderson in the 57. Anderson looking for his 11th of the year. Mike Knobbs trying to find victory lane for the 3rd time. Jason Richardson looking for his first to Steve Hallquist in that 27H. Also looking for his first feature win of the year. Nick Kaler looking for his 2nd. Harleston looking for his 1st. Then it's Cole Varsho, Pat Hoffman, Scott Duvall. It'll be the 3 of Tyler Stargart, Zach Gibson, and Zach Drews. That is your field. So 2 laps have been scored, 18 remain for Michael Truscott in the 22T. So here we go again. Michael Truscott, your very, very early race leader. 2 laps have been scored. 18 to go for the Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin driver, Mike Anderson. Kurt Myers from row 2, green flag flying. Truscott continues to lead. Mike Anderson 2nd. Keep an eye on the 57 as he closes in a hurry. Jason Richardson is going to drive to the inside of Myers as they'll battle for 3rd. Truscott, Anderson, Myers, Richardson. Nick Kaler to 5th. Hallquist is 6th. Truscott continues to lead. Mike Anderson is there in the 57. Anderson just cranking on that Elwood Express SSR race car. 57 up on the cushion. He's to the outside of Truscott. Mike Anderson, Michael Truscott. We got a new leader at 57. Mike Anderson trying to check out on Michael Truscott. Kurt Myers is still third in a battle for fourth between Nick Kaler, Jason Richardson. Lap traffic now in front of your leader down the back straightaway. Tyler Stargard up on the cushion, the next driver to go a lap down. Mike Anderson is there. Anderson, Truscott, Myers have put some distance on Jason Richardson, Nick Kaler, and the rest of the field. Michael Truscott, Kurt Myers, Jason Richardson, Nick Kaler, Harlstead and Hallquist, Knobson, Hoffman, Cole Marshall, Zach Drews, Scott Duvall, Zach Gibson. That is your field. More lap traffic now in front of your leaders. Truscott trying to put the 38 of Zach Gibson a lap down. Michael Truscott is still there as Anderson is hung up behind the 38. Mike Anderson will drive to the inside, slide up in front of Zach Gibson. Michael Truscott going to try and do the same in the 22T. Between Mike Anderson and Michael Truscott. Myers comfortably to third, but hung up behind Zach Gibson. Then it's Jason Richardson and Nick Kaler, your first five. Mike Anderson trying to hang on for the 11th time this year. Michael Truscott looking for his 6th of the year, his 2nd on the weekend. Flag waving this time by one more time for Mike Anderson. Mike Anderson with Scott Duvall in front of him down the back straightaway. Michael Truscott going to give it one more shot into turn 3. Off at turn 4, checkered flag waving high in the air for Mike Anderson.
Finishing third was the 1M of Kurt Myers. Finishing second was the 22T of Michael Truscott. And winning for the gazillionth time this year at the Eagle Valley Speedway.
That's easy for you to say.
The 57, Mike Anderson. And
feature win of the year.
it looks like we're going to get a couple of victory lane speeches. Rick, I said we send it to break, and
I think so too. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back because we've still got the Hornets.
Yeah, we'll come back with the Hornets, and congratulations to everybody tonight, and we got one more race for you.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. This is the grand finale here. Day 2 of the Jim Town Showdown. This is going to close out the entire show. Starting on the pole.
Heck, John, this is going to close out the season of racing here. They do have a demolition derby coming up. I believe it's on the 10th of October. But this is it for racing here at Eagle Valley this season.
Yes, this is it at Eagle Valley. There is one more big invitational next weekend. ABC Speedway. It is the Red Clay Speedway, or Red Clay Classic. But let's get to the lineups here. Started on the pole, the number 76 of Jake Halterman. Starting on the outside pole is the 59H of Jason Hegelson. Starting third is the 36 of Jason Junker. Starting fourth is the 20 of Brandon Glider. Starting fifth is the 221 of Danny Halterman. Starting sixth is the 4 of Jody Halterman. Starting seventh and rounding out the field is the 82 of Craig Owis. They are getting the one to go already. We will send it down to Scott Teeves. And might I add, for the final time this season.
So last night's winner, Jake Halterman, going to go from inside of row 1. Jason Helgenson to the outside. Green flag waving. Jake Halterman will lead lap 1 in the 76. Jason Helgenson will settle into second here on the opening lap, and then it's Brandon Glider in the 20. Jake Halterman trying to run away and hide and double up at the Jim Town Showdown. Jason Helgenson going to battle with the 221 of Danny Halterman and the 20 of Brandon Glider. Jason Junker is also there in the 36. Jake Halterman on cruise control here early in your Hornet A main. Jake Halterman continues to lead. Jason Helgenson now to second, and the battle continues for third as Jake Halterman has checked out on Jason Helgenson and the rest of the field as Halterman, Junker, and Glider battle for third. Jake Halterman just cruising out front. Jason Helgenson still the second. Jason Junker going to battle with Danny Halterman. And then Brandon Glider in the 20. Jake Halterman started inside of row 1 and has stayed there. As Helgensen, a Halterman, a Junker, and Glider to follow. Jake Halterman going to work around Jody Halterman down the back straightaway. Craig Ellis, the next driver to go a lap down, but this time by white flag waving one more time for Jake Halterman. Jason Junker slow on the back straightaway. He'll roll into the infield. His nine will come to an end at 36. Jake Halterman get a battle with the 82 of Craig Ellis to put him a lap down. As they drive down the back straightaway, your leader will drive into turn 3. Off at turn 4, going back to back. Your winner at 76, Jake Halterman.
Third is Danny Halterman in the 221. Second is the 59H of Jason Helgensen. And winning for the second time in a row, the 76 of Jake Halterman. And Rick, it's been a lot of fun out here tonight.
John, you know what? It's been fun all season. It's really been enjoyable doing these races with you. And fans, stay tuned. Keep checking in on our webpage, which is www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com, where we'll have announcements about we have some possibilities that are in the works for some off-season racing programming that we are hoping to be able to put together for you, and also some other actual racing coming up this winter that we're hoping to get organized. So stay tuned. Nothing's finalized yet, so keep checking out our webpage at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com. Let's send it down to the victory lane.
Halterman, how you doing? Good. Good. Another fantastic weekend for you.
Yep.
You're just a man of few words, ain't you?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, Stanley Truck Sales is the only sponsor. Congratulations here in Jim Town night.
Thank you.
You bet. You're welcome. Our second place feature winner here. Yeah. Yep. Helgerson. All right, Jason Helgerson. Jason, here you go, buddy. Danny? Here you go. And Danny, we got one for you too, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, nice job this year. Thanks for coming out to Eagle Valley Speedway.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone here at Eagle Valley for having us and staying with us.
Well, I appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Danny, thanks a lot for everything this year, and you've done a lot for us, and really do appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I also want to thank my dad because he really got this car back together. It's been smashed a few times, so I can't wait to get it back next year, looking better than ever. So I just want to thank, Eagle Valley. It's been a fantastic year. Looking forward to next year.
Well, good. Well, good. Nice to see you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that doesn't do it for me down here. Thanks, everybody. I'm Brownie.
And Rick, that is going to close it out for you and I here at the Eagle Valley Speedway here at the Eagle Valley Speedway for this year.
Hey, what do you say we do this again next year?
I think that would be a fantastic idea.
I think so too, and I think we've got some pretty interesting ideas in the offing for the off season, and let's hope we can make that happen. And again, I want to remind people to keep checking in at our webpage, www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com, and see what we've got going on.
And fans, if you enjoy this racing, you have a favorite driver, support their sponsors. Give them a chance to continue to do this. This is a dying sport, and these sponsors are what make this possible. So let's go ahead. Fans, find out who your favorite driver sponsors are. Go and give your business to them.
That's right, and because the drivers will appreciate it, the sponsors will appreciate it, and then this can happen more and more. And if you have a business and would like to have your business recognized as we do this racing, please make sure you contact us here at the Northern Light Webcasting Network, and we'd be glad to help you out with that as well. So, for This is Rick Olson and John Stellens and our cameraman, Dan Petchow. And we're going to tell you to stick around because coming up right after this pit stop is Victory Lane right here on NLWN-TV.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
You've been watching WISSOTA Racing Action from the Eagle Valley Speedway in Jim Falls, Wisconsin on NLWN-TV. WISSOTA Racing Action is brought to you in part by these Eagle Valley Speedway sponsors. Haas & Sons Incorporated for all your concrete, aggregates, excavation, and trucking needs. Park Ridge Distribution with a complete line of Budweiser products. Goulet's Auto at 401 Bay Street in Chippewa Falls. Collision Center, your auto body professionals in Chippewa Falls. Tim's Automotive Machine of Bloomer for racing engines, machining services, and dyno services. Contact Tim's Automotive Machine in Bloomer. Southwest Chevrolet Buick and GMC, serving the Chippewa Valley for over 60 years from the same Bloomer location. River Country Co-op and Senex Stations, a member-owned co-op providing you with a wide range of services and products. Credit King of Chippewa Falls, and they can help you get into a new-to-you car, even if your credit isn't perfect. Rock Auto for all the parts your car will ever need, rockauto.com. Baxter Engines, serving Eau Claire since 1946. There's virtually no limit to their machining ability. At Baxter Speed Shop and Custom Machine on Center Road in Dorchester. Express Disposal. For residential or commercial service, trust Express Disposal of Thorpe. Arch Snowmobile and ATV of Cornell, your headquarters in the area for new, used parts, along with accessories for all your trail and racing needs. Clearview Auto Glass in Bloomer. For all your glass and auto glass needs, look no further than Clearview Auto Glass in Bloomer. The Edge on Lake Wissota, large dining area, outdoor deck and patio, private boat slips. Sounds like dinner time at the Edge. Northwest Coin and Machine Company in Bloomer, your specialist in coin-operated amusement machines. Mitch Shackleton of Chippewa Heavy Haul, 2252 Olson Drive in Chippewa Falls. JP Mechanical Plumbing and Heating of Oliva, residential or commercial plumbing and heating services for the Chippewa Valley. Dan Hindle Electric, your source for electronic equipment and supplies in Abbotsford. Jayco Plumbing and Heating, 800 West Business 29 in Abbotsford. And Union Trailer and Power Equipment of Chippewa Falls. Whether it's lawnmowers up to tractors and implements, Union Trailer and Power Equipment has it for you. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Victory Lane, where we take a look back at today's racing action.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is.
Paw, do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things. But all of them are pure love.
I don't remember how it started.
What's that?
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Time now for Victory Lane, where we take a look back at today's racing action. So now, back out to the Speedway and Victory Lane. Rick Olson back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. John and Dan are packing up our equipment because we've wrapped up a season here. And we've had the Jim Town Showdown, day number 2, and a terrific night of racing to wrap things up. So let's get to the results on those races. We started with the Wissota Street Stocks, and we had one heat in the Wissota Street Stocks. Third place went to Brandon Brower out of Iona, Minnesota in the 34 Junior. Second place went to Parker Anderson from Phillips in the 27P. And first place went to Adam Saltis from Ladysmith in car number 9. Then in the Street Stock feature race, third place went to Cody Simple from Chautauqua in car 88. Second place out of Mondovi was Danny Richards in the car 3R. First place in car 27P went to Parker Anderson. Now, after the heat race of the Street Stocks, we did have a bit of a weather delay, but after that weather delay, racing got going fast and furious. And the first thing that we had when we came back from the weather delay were the Wissota Super Stocks. 2 heat races in the Super Stocks. And heat number 1, we actually did heat number 2 first, so we'll do that one first. Third place went to Dwayne Keeler, or DJ Keeler. He's out of Superior in car 12K. Second place went to Chad Johnson from Colfax in car 25. First place to Kurt Myers from Cameron in the 1M. In the second heat race, third place went to Dave Flynn from Superior in 27F. Second place went to Nick Oreskovich out of Mason, Wisconsin, and he was driving car number 21F. In car 7R out of Mondovi, Wisconsin, first place finisher in that heat race was Tommy Richards, and he took it from the pole. So then in the feature race of the Super Stocks, third place went to Tommy Richards from Mondovi in the 7R. Second place, Nick Oreskovich out of Mason, Wisconsin. And first place from Cameron, Wisconsin in the 1M was Kurt Myers. Then we had the Wissota Modifieds. And we had a lot of cars in the Wissota Modifieds. First of all, well, we had 3 heat races. In heat number 1, Josh Smith from Fall Creek in the 21J took third place. Second place went to Ryan Savoy from Superior in car 16. And first place went to Shane Halupka out of Greenwood in the 3 Junior. In heat number 2, third place went to Kennedy Swann from Chippewa Falls in the 18S. And you remember, Kennedy was our guest, one of our 2 guests in the show in the pits at the beginning of this program. Second place to Jimmy Latvala out of Solon Springs in car 21. And then Cody Carlson from Superior in the 32 the third took first place. In heat number 3, third place went to Ross Furman from Ashland in the 00. In the 23 Double D was George Dahlbeck, and he's out of Wakefield, Michigan, and George took second place. First place went to Derek Haas from Thorpe in car 80. We had a 26-car feature race in the Midwest Modifieds, and in that feature race, third place went to Cody Carlson from Superior in the 32 and the third. Second place, Shane Halupka from Greenwood in the 3 Junior. First place went to George Dahlbeck out of Wakefield, Michigan in the 23 Double D. Then we went on to the Wissota Pure Stocks. And in the Pure Stocks, we had 2 heats. In heat number 1, third place went to Corey Jorgensen from Duluth, Minnesota in car 16. Second place to George Richards out of Mondovi in the 5R. And first place went to Ryan Clausen from Prairie Farm in car 21. In heat number 2, third place went to Dustin Hollab from Chautauqua in car 15H. Second place went to Ryan Olson from Ladysmith in car 1. And first place went to Mike Schneider from Cameron in car number 7. So in the feature race in the pure stock, third place went to Ryan Olson in car 1. Second place went to George Richards in the 5R. George is from Mondovi. And first place, Mike Schneider from Cameron in car number 7. That takes us to the Wissota Modifieds. 2 heat races in the Wissota Modifieds. In heat number 1, third place went to Michael Truscott from Chippewa Falls in 22T. Second place to Steve Hallquist from Eau Claire. He was driving car 27H. And first place went to Nick Kaler from Bloomer in car 13. In heat number 2, third place went to Paul Harlstead from Bloomer in car number 1. Second place, Kurt Myers from Cameron in the 1M. And in car 57, first place in heat number 2 went to Mike Anderson from Jim Falls. In the Wissota Modified Feature Race, first place went to that same Mike Anderson in car 57. Second place to Michael Truscott in 22T. And third place went to Kurt Myers in car 1M. And then we wrapped up the season from the Eagle Valley Speedway with the Hornets. We had 1 Hornet heat race. Third place went to Brandon Glider from Mondovi in car 20. Second place, Jake Halterman from Stanley in car 76. And first place went to Jason Junker from Stanley in car number 36. In the feature race for the Hornets, third place, Danny Halterman in car 221. Second place went to Jason Hagelson from Strum in 59H. And in first place in car 76, Jake Halterman from Stanley. Those are the results we had tonight. And that's going to wrap it up for this season of racing from Eagle Valley Speedway. Rick Olson here for John Fellens and Dan Petschow. We hope you've had a good time watching, and you've been watching Victory Lane on NLWN-TV. You've been watching Victory Lane with a look back at today's racing action. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.